Hello everyone, we're back with more Star Trek. Probably. Improbable Cause is going to be the first episode today since it's a two-parter. The two-parter is going to count as one episode, so that's going to be a total of 4 episodes today. Improbable Cause, Dies Cast, Explorers, and Family Business, all of which are at least pretty good. I know some people have a grudge against Explorers for some reason, but I don't know what's wrong with them. It's a good episode.
You mean aside from it being a boring, tedious episode? No, it's great.
If you say so.
Explorers. It's a character study.
Yeah.
I'll just be taking a good 43.5-minute nap.
It's an episode where people just hang out and talk, which is some of the best episodes.
I think the most interesting part of that episode is at the very end where the Cardassians, well, I don't want to spoil it, but they try to...
When they do the thing.
Yeah, when they do the thing at the very end. That was cool, but not the fireworks, but another thing that they do at the end.
Oh, I was thinking about the fireworks.
No, not the fireworks.
Which I was thinking, it's neat, but it's kind of weird for Gul Dukat to do that.
Yeah.
I don't know why Gul Dukat likes fireworks all of a sudden.
Well, okay, spoiler alert. Apparently, Cisco does the thing, and then the Cardassians are like, oh, that's so amazing. We just discovered something awesome on Cardassia. It's like completely try to undermine it.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
I always took that
It's very...
trying to undermine them as Cardassia being like, oops, the thing that we've been trying to keep covered up in secret just got proven. So yeah, guess what? Now we figured it out too.
Yeah,
it's very Gul Dukat.
Yeah, I mean, it's not undermining the trip. It's undermining the what is it? The importance of it. It's like, yeah, you did something cool, but look, we did something really cool too. So everyone look over here.
I don't know. I think it actually shines a light on the Bajorans more than just the Cardassians because it proves that the Bajorans made it to Cardassia without a warp-capable ship.
Though, to be fair, they only made it Cardassia because of a complete fluke.
And now
if they hadn't hit those eddies.
We have discovered this amazing thing, and we are now going to have fireworks and celebration in honor of the great Bajoran achievements that we totally knew about the whole time. We're so great.
I'm still unclear if Bajorans ever had warp drive. Or if they just lost everything to Cardassia.
Yeah, because they always have like sub-impulse raiders and things like that, but never...
Yeah, but they also talk about the Bajoran culture being like thousands of years older than humans, so I would expect them to have some, but we never see it.
Thousands of triangle ships.
Thousands of triangles.
One triangle
the best
ship,
triangles.
The one triangle ship that belongs to Bajorans that we see outside of Deep Space Nine is in a TNG episode, and it is explicitly stated in that episode that the ship is not capable of warp drive.
Man, what is even the point of Bajor? If they didn't have the wormhole, it's just a complete trash planet. Has nothing going for it.
Even
shoot them with a phaser.
Even Cassidy Yates, I mean, she works for like Bajoran freight and shipping or whatever, but we don't know that she's using a Bajoran ship.
But we actually know that she's using a Federation freighter. Not Federation, but Federation, not Starfleet, but Federation for sure. It's a civilian ship, but yeah.
Yeah.
Back on Bajor being useless, they have a lot of resources that belong to Cardassia. Those are important.
It's true.
Well, now they belong to Cardassia.
Waltz is right. Gul Dukat was right.
Honestly, look, I know he's pure evil, but he kinda was. Without the occupation, they were just... I mean, they're like hobbits. It's no bad thing to lead a simple life.
People.
But they weren't actually doing anything in the galaxy. They were just kind of there, hanging out in their own planet. Which is fine.
Space hippies.
Also, their society was trash. It was it was a caste system.
Yeah. The Dajaras? Is that what those are?
Yeah, Dajaras,
yeah.
One guy straight up executed a Vedic because he had a dirty name.
Yeah, his name meant...
You can't do that.
Or whatever. Yeah.
Alright, everyone be queued up. 10 seconds. DS9 Improbable Cause, Season 3, Episode 20. Press play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play.
By the way, the food I'll be interrupting you all with is a turkey potato curry, Indian curry.
Okay.
The end.
You know, I've only ever actually had curry once. Maybe I should give it another shot.
I've made enough to share.
A typical Caesar. It was the hubris. It was the sheer hubris of Caesar. Oh, did you give Discovery Season 2 a chance since yesterday?
I have not.
Okay. You still gotta do it.
I'll give it
Because I'll tell you, that is the best portrayal of Captain Pike. Flat out.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, yeah, they haven't had a lot, but I mean, he does a really good job with Pike.
Pike is the best part of the second season. And honestly, if not for the backstory for the characters, I would say the first and second season are almost unnecessary for the third.
Like the third season of Discovery, I really like sort of most of the details a lot more than even Season 2, and Season 2 a lot more than Season 1. But the fact that Season 3 doesn't have Pike in it because he needs to go and do TOS stuff, I feel like the seasons are still like kind of equal, even though like everything else is much better about Season 3. It doesn't have Pike in it.
Yeah, they're going to spend the whole season replacing Pike, though they still haven't properly done it.
You can't replace Pike. You just can't do it.
Yeah, but like we're 10 episodes in, and it's still kind of the current captain, maybe.
No, we definitely have a captain.
They're not treating
We've
him
had a
like they're going to
captain for a
keep him
while.
there.
We'll see.
This arc needs to resolve, yeah.
I fear
Well, we only
that
have-
the latest episode makes me feel that you're right, that Saru is not going to keep that seat.
I feel like they're really intentionally putting it up in the air, and I'm worried.
Yeah.
Well, we only have, 2, maybe 3 episodes left in the season? We're going to find out pretty quick.
Yeah.
Do you think we're going to get standalones, or is it going to be another two-parter?
I think this was the first part of a 3-parter ending. Because
Oh,
the latest episode didn't actually resolve. It was a cliffhanger.
this is true.
By the way, Deep Space Nine is happening. Someone's dissolving carpet with some, benzite nitrate? What did they say?
Oh, I totally forgot about that.
Hydrogen fluoride. Who can breathe hydrogen fluoride? That would destroy anything.
And we love hydrogen fluoride. Yellowsians. Oh,
He was using hydrogen fluoride.
yeah, explosives are probably a bad thing to have on a space station where you can, vent to space.
Pure oxygen environments, you know.
It's not pure oxygen.
No, they learned the lesson. See, I feel like, how far into the episode are we? We are 3.5 minutes in. We could have lost the first 2 minutes and been fine. Not
We
that
did
I don't
lose the first 2
I
minutes.
always
We
love
did,
those
yeah.
moments.
We did. That's a nice moment, but we did.
I love
totally
those
miss all
moments
of
with Garrett.
Oh, no. Garrick has to trash Shakespeare. Come on.
Shakespeare's got to step his game up.
Look, it's not Shakespeare's fault that Caesar didn't see it coming.
It's not Shakespeare's fault that Cardassians are just better at reading literature. I mean, I don't know. They're
The,
just better at a lot of things.
the never-ending sacrifice, greatest piece of Cardassian literature ever made.
Yeah, and
Who
everyone
did direct
knows
this
it.
episode? Was it Avery Brooks? Well, we'll find out after the credits. I don't want to click on the cast on Amazon because it'll pause the show for me.
It was Avery Brooks.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
Written by David R. Long, Renee Echeverria, and Robert Lederman.
Robert Lederman. Very fancy name.
April 24th, 1995.
Is it Robert Later, man, or Robert Lederman?
Lederman.
Okay.
Lederman.
So yeah, Shakespeare. I mean, I do know some Shakespeare, but I haven't read a lot of the the really fancy plays, like King Lear, is that one of them, or The Tempest, or which one is the one with Caesar in it?
Julius Caesar.
Oh, yeah. I have not.
can't tell.
I have not read
Can't
that
tell.
play.
Macbeth.
I've read Macbeth. Macbeth's pretty good.
I actually saw The Merchant of Venice in Stratford-upon-Avon at the official theater of the Royal Shakespeare Company.
Ooh,
Okay.
I should do that once I can travel to the UK again.
Yeah.
This was 19 years ago, so it was a while ago. It was when I was in college.
I've only seen one play live. I think it was Macbeth, but I'm not totally sure. And it was just like the local theater group. No Royal Shakespeare Company here. And it was okay.
As someone who has a degree in English literature, I think that high schools do a great disservice to Shakespeare by teaching him in the classroom as something that should be read, and they should really take them to a theater to see it performed because it's completely different.
Agreed. Not an English
I'll say-
major or anything, but I hated reading it.
I much preferred reading it to seeing the play. I don't remember all the details, but I remember that I liked it less than just reading.
To each their own, I suppose.
I like them as books, what can I say?
Well, books are scripts, because the first time I read Romeo and Juliet, it was in book form, like it was translated and turned into a novel instead of just like the script. When I read the script as a script, it was much better.
In script form is what I read it as.
There's no accounting for taste.
Nobody asked
Taylor
Garrick.
Gardner.
No, nobody asked or accused you of anything.
He looks at him like, I told you not to talk about that outside of the bedroom.
I trusted you with that private information, Doctor. Doctor-patient confidentiality. Oh, I really want to see what a Nausicaan wedding suit looks like.
I want to see a Nausicaan wedding. That'll be fun.
Nausicaans are always the evil race.
Probably a lot of leather, I would imagine.
No, they're just the aggressive race. I don't think they're ever inherently evil. They're just always mad at whoever we care about.
And they want to play Domjot human.
Yeah, play dumb John.
Get married, human.
They talk and they talk, but they have no grandma.
You puny tailor. Fix suit. Make look tall.
I mean, I know it's hard to redeem Garrick as a character because of all the evil things he's done in the past, but
I don't know what you're
tax
talking about.
evasion? Jesus. I don't know if I can forgive him for that. You know, tax evasion is actually probably a really, really serious crime on Cardassia because they're full on duty to the state.
Oh yeah, that's actually a huge
I mean,
thing.
even the Joker has gone on the record saying he will not mess with the IRS.
He's not
Oh,
crazy.
yeah. But I'm thinking, like, as much as it's a serious crime right now in here to mess with the IRS, just like double or triple so for Cardassians. They're likely to get executed for tax evasion. Or, exiled, apparently.
That's all he did. That's the only reason he's exiled to the station, avoiding the tax.
I can honestly see Cardassia exiling people for that.
Yeah, so can I.
Oh, this is a nice story.
Oh yeah.
A lovely parable. How clever.
This is
Of
such a
course you would like
wonderful
that part,
exchange.
Garrick. So, the moral that Garrick takes from it Which I
is the
guess we're
yeah,
going
correct
to
love
say,
him.
so I can hold off. But I have some questions about this.
I love him.
Okay.
so confidently.
Now, Garrick does often tell the same lie twice, which is what I'm concerned about. He really just picks a story and sticks to it for a lot of things. Mostly it's like, I'm just a simple tailor.
Well, he is
Yeah.
just a simple tailor.
Yeah,
This is the
That's his
truth.
backstory.
he can't change that though.
Yeah, there's nothing to lie about. He's a simple tailor.
I guess.
But then he'll throw up new ones, like, I want to join the Federation.
Because
God.
line is a skill like any other. If you want to maintain a level of excellence, you have to practice constantly.
Exactly.
I love how comfortable Odo is just letting him sit down at like the head of.
Oh, he's watching him. He's okay.
But sit right down.
Of course.
Of course.
Hmm.
Seems legit. Does Garrick have access to that? I know Quark can probably get access, but I don't know if Garrick has those security codes.
Quark probably got access to it from Garrick.
Yeah.
Maybe.
This is still a Cardassian station, and that is a Cardassian security system.
Yeah, I remember in the episode Civil Defense, Garrick has some security codes. He's able to get through doors and stuff.
He is listening so intently. Look at him.
Needs information. Well, he doesn't need information. He needs
Look at that
information on Nodo more than the bomb.
All that facial acting, even in just background blur.
Facial acting through the background blur and through the makeup.
Oh yeah, he does it.
That's why he's so good.
They kill you with seeds.
A Flaxian.
There you go, Harmonix. That's the
Seeds
story.
and high
There was
fiber.
a Flaxian. The end.
That's the whole story? We
right.
solved it?
You're welcome.
So is he a tailor or does he just sell finished goods?
Based on his response, he is a Skyrim NPC.
Huh.
Yeah, do we see this long table in other episodes?
Oh
I
yeah.
feel like
Yeah,
yeah,
this
it's a
is the
war
war
room.
room.
Yeah, we have a lot of conferences in here, especially in the later seasons when we're dealing with the Dominion.
I always remember this weird pyramid display shelf thing as like one of the most realistic alien display suitcase looking things. Like they didn't need to go through all the trouble to make that look as foreign as they did, but it looks good.
Is that the casing for a Bajoran orb? Like the
It
proper
looks like
use?
it might be almost, yeah, a little bit.
Oh, how touching. He's so concerned. Oh, I do not like his chin whiskers. What even? They're like half whisker, half tentacle. What are those things?
He kind of looks like a catfish. I was thinking, like, did he evolve from somewhere aquatic or something?
All I can see is Catfish Man now.
Oh,
Yeah.
fantastic.
Flaxenes are all catfish.
Spicy.
I remember the if you guys have seen The Mandalorian, the blue fish guy from the pilot episode has been described as a catfish.
Calling this guy a catfish is an insult to that blue guy, you're right.
He has a name, but I have no idea what it is. We established it like a season and a half later. I don't think you can do that, can you? Just mix 2 cents and get something good every time? I don't think that works.
I mean, not every time, but he is a purveyor of fine perfumes. They're all good. Except
Apparently
for these ones.
not.
So do you think he's lying?
Who? The Phylaxian?
Phylaxian.
Yes. You know, he's like a Talaxian, but with an F. The Flaxian.
Maybe this-
I think the
yeah,
Flaxian assassin might be lying about not being an assassin, yes. He's probably not legit.
The liveries.
On the
But
bright
so
side,
Odo's
even
trying
if...
to peg him down.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Even if Odo did the dropper thing, he'd be fine. He doesn't have a heart. He can't
Or
have a heart
lungs or
attack.
anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
That really looks
It would just
like,
kill the assassin.
an orb holder thing now.
Man, Garrick or Odo would just be such a pain to assassinate. You just have to shoot him. That's the only option.
They'd have to clean it off everything.
But would
Like
he
splattered
explode
egg.
or turn into dust?
Or, you know, turn into an ooze all over the floor. Like in Bashir's head.
Or just start peeling. Or flaking off.
God, that's a gross effect.
It's such a good effect, though.
It is, but it's gross. Just bits of Odo everywhere.
I love the facial acting where Odo's like, how the hell did he get in here?
Yeah.
And then he just... Worry about that later.
But Garrick, what if he just went on another runabout? You have a bunch of them.
It's just asserting dominance.
Why does Garrick want to go with Odo here? Why does Garrick care? Because of, you know, things that happen later in the episode.
Jeez. Odo, grab him and throw him out.
But he's so charming.
He seems like a career guy, though. He's trying to do a good job.
Yeah, he's a constable. He can't just assault someone. He's not doing anything illegal, and apparently he made a very good case.
Yeah, he is doing something illegal. Apparently, he broke into a Starfleet runabout.
Yeah, this is...
He's interfering
door.
with their investigation.
The door was unlocked, and the seat looked so comfortable.
It was unlocked after he picked it.
It was unlocked. Yeah, that's what I said.
And the seat was
Still
comfortable.
unlocked. Still
And
that is still unlocked.
At
And
least
the
they're in
seat-
the Rio Grande, so they're safe.
These Cardassians are so well mannered.
Very polite people.
Oh, and you're no expert, of course, Garrick. Alright, what shape? Oh, that is not triangular. Worthless ship.
Don't worry, they blew it up.
Okay,
Good.
so let's get this straight. Chief
Yeah.
O'Brien plays something in the ship's magneton relay. The ship explodes. Like, how is he not the cause of it?
Well,
I mean, outside
it's
of him
the
being
chief.
outside of him being a main character, it seems like that would be a little suspect.
And Chief O'Brien is giving a convenient alternate explanation for the explosion. The chief is the one conducting the investigation. The chief definitely has experience in dealing with Romulan assassination attempts from the Enterprise.
Okay, hang on. It's
Convenient.
been a while. Did I miss something, or do we already know ahead of time that O'Brien was responsible there? It's been a while since we've seen this.
No,
Okay.
Ryan's not responsible.
yeah. I
O'Brien
was
had
just-
nothing to do with it.
Yeah, we'll
Okay.
get there eventually.
I wonder what Avery's direction for the scene was.
Apparently, it's to use only lights from the below. At least on Odo.
He is so quotable.
Yeah, Romulan's telling the truth. Ridiculous.
This is a great cut.
Yes, it
It's
is.
amazing. Oh my god.
You don't gotta mess around. Just get right to it. Is she? And we say this about literally every character that shows up on this, but is she in other Star Trek? Who is that lady?
I thought that was Cassidy with a lot of makeup for a second.
Not.
I don't think so. But
Well, let me look up Improbable Cause on IMDb.
I was just going to say someone's going to get to it.
I've already got it open. Her name is Darwin Carson, and she has not played any other roles in Star Trek.
Okay.
So this is all we get of her.
Does she have the same haircut as the character?
The actress does?
Yeah.
Wow.
No, I'm
Did-
asking.
Oh. I was gonna say, like, that's
No.
his commitment. Maybe. No, she doesn't have. Nobody has that haircut. No, if
Yeah,
she
no, I've never
kept
seen
that
that before.
haircut after the show, that would be quite something. Tried it on for Deep Space Nine. Was like, no, I like this. I think I look good in this.
The man dark.
I still don't
Very
know what's up with
commanding.
Vulcans and bob cuts. Never looks good.
It's the only thing they kept from their time on Vulcan.
you donkey, what do you want?
Forget their philosophy, forget their traditions. The hair, though.
I mean,
Must
it's
keep the
ugly
haircut.
hair. Does anyone here have a bob cut? Because if you do, you're wrong.
Never tried a bob cut.
I don't think T'Pol has a bob cut, does she? Doesn't she have normal
More of a
hair?
bowl cut.
She just has short hair.
I
I'm
think
gonna
it's
bring
still
up a
pretty
picture
Vulcan.
of her. Yeah, it's not quite a bob cut, but it's more normal. It's still distinctly Vulcan, but it's more normal. Are you going to take Eric with you? Oh, we're going to get the cave set.
Oh, hey!
Yeah, that one cave set on the guy standing on the ledge. I remember this.
Oh, this is the neck trick mentioned.
Yeah, every time we've seen this cave, I've been like, oh, there's that ledge that guy stands on in that episode. This is the scene I'm referring to there.
I know exactly what you mean. I always think of the scene too. It's a very recognizable cave in this particular shot for some reason.
Yeah.
I almost feel
We
like
get
Kira
more
should be
angles of the
here,
same cave.
trapped in amber.
Yeah. Maybe we should
Or
have
rock
some
candy.
Maquis Terrace in here. Can I Gold Ducat? There's the ledge. That one ledge where the evil first minister was in.
The same ledge where Garrick is hiding in one of the last episodes.
Yep,
Wing.
Garrick and Damar and Kira.
Yeah.
Honestly, in that case, if this is Cardassia, this might actually canonically be the same cave as that episode.
Oh yeah, it could be.
Did we ever find out who this guy is? I feel like this is the only time we see him.
Yeah,
It
this is the only
is.
time.
Kind of sounds like Damar.
Also, if you guys remember the ending of the episode Defiant with Thomas Riker, just have that episode in mind. That's all I've got to say about that. What Thomas wanted to do. Oh, no, don't be trite about it.
Neck trick.
There it is.
There's
We
a
never
thing
get
for
to see the
Picard
Cardassian
season
neck trick.
2.
Yep. What about season 2? Picard?
Find out what the stupid neck trick is.
A man can dream. Maybe we'll see it one day.
Or lower decks. They could totally get away with that on lower decks.
Oh, 100%. Although they would probably just show the audience reaction. People cheering.
So this informant is someone who has been in Star Trek quite a few times. He has 5 other roles besides this one. The first
Jesus.
one being in the original series.
Oh, he's been around for a while. Okay.
Yeah.
What are the names of his characters?
So he's Galt in Gamesters of Triskelion and TOS. In Deep Space Nine, he plays a character called Tumek, who is in the House of Quark episode. He's the older advisor.
Oh, holy shit! It's Tumek.
Oh,
he
I remember
plays
that
a
guy.
Sona
Oh, I
officer.
totally recognize that voice.
Yeah.
Okay, continue.
The Sona officer in Insurrection.
Okay.
He is a Vulcan master in a Voyager episode called Gravity, and he is apparently a Suliban doctor in the Enterprise premiere.
So he's been everywhere, and he got a movie role. What a guy.
Very fancy. Yeah, now that you mentioned
There.
that Voyager episode, I didn't even hear the episode name, but I think it's the one where Tuvok is having flashbacks to his childhood. And he's talking to like some Vulcan emotional suppression master or something. I think it's that guy.
The episode's called Gravity. Apparently, it's when a shuttle crashes on a planet and he's dealing with an alien that he can't communicate with at first, I think.
Yeah, I think that's that same episode. Because the lady is they meet a lady there who doesn't know anything about Vulcans. He has to explain like emotional suppression and all that stuff.
Dude, Odo is going hard.
Here it is. Well,
I don't think I've ever seen him that mad.
yeah. He doesn't like being lied to.
Apparently,
Even
Garrick's
from
the only
Garrick.
one ballsy enough to do that to him. Jesus.
So you knew as soon as you talked to the Flaxian. The Flaxian had nothing to do with it, but Garrick wanted to follow him anyway. And then Odo repeatedly insisted he had no idea who it could be after he talked with the Flaxian.
He was letting Garrick
Well-
dig his own grave.
I mean, there was also some sense in realizing that somebody probably did want to assassinate Garrick, and Garrick put him off of that by blowing up his own shop, and Odo
Yep.
probably wanted to find out why somebody wanted to kill Garrick.
But why did the Flexian leave? Because Odo told him that Garrick survived. So
I think the Flaxian left because the Flaxian knew Odo was onto him.
He made that very clear in that meeting, yeah.
Hmm.
Is that a replicator back there? That's a replicator back there.
And who is that Ferengi on the thing? It looks like
I was gonna
Brunt.
say.
I don't know,
And
but I
Max-
saw a picture of a human there on the list, and it just looked like Cisco at the top there.
That does look like Brunt.
Oh,
Right next to Garrick. Is that just Cisco on the wall?
kind of looks like it.
Is Cisco wanted?
Odo always has a warrant in case he needs to search Cisco's office. He just has it hanging on the
I don't
wall.
know. The head shape doesn't look right. Also, he's bald, which Cisco is not bald yet in the show.
Oh, that's
Oh,
right.
yeah.
He still has hair. Okay.
Also, I don't think the crew, or not crew, but like the writers of Deep Space Nine or the set designers would be insensitive enough to put a black person at the top of their wanted list in Odo's office. That just seems like a bad idea.
Especially
I
not
mean-
in an episode directed by Avery Brooks. I feel like that would not fly.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe Avery Brooks just wanted a cameo of himself. He loves
I mean,
playing
it
the
could be
villain.
It could be a picture of when he was in Hawk.
It's a good thing Mila was just sitting there staring into space.
Like everyone's just always
Yeah.
at their. I mean, I guess I can't
It
talk
looks
because
like
I'm
she's-
always at my computer.
It didn't look like
So
she
fair
even
enough.
answered. She just looked up. She's like, "Oh my goodness, Garrick!"
There's no such thing as a Cardassian ringtone. It just picks up instantly.
She was just playing solitaire. She looked over. Garrick.
No, she's on the computer. She's playing online poker.
Just playing some online Fizbin.
Wait, they want to kill her?
Blue Spoon.
The old lady?
Hey!
Does someone want to... Honestly, I wasn't listening. I was looking at her spoon. Is someone trying to murder Mila? I think she's probably okay.
It's implied later on that Inabrin wants her dead.
Oh,
implied, actually.
right.
It's actually pretty explicit.
It's the nanny that winds up receiving him when he goes to Cardassia later on, right? Not her?
Yes.
This is different. Okay.
No, it's her. It's her.
Oh, that is her. Okay.
Woman.
She is the nanny.
That may or may not be his mother. We don't know. Garrick?
I always assumed she was actually his mother.
Does she go Mr. Sheffield?
Well, she must be his mother.
I just know she needs to clean up her basement. Place is filthy. $78 because the Bajoran day is 26 hours, 26 times 3.
Oh, nice.
So consistent. Yeah, why not just like dematerialize it?
Do you think Garrick actually has a compartment back there with a nice linear rod?
Oh,
And now
100%.
Bashir just won't bother to look.
100%.
Probably not the only thing he's hidden away.
Just
That's
tell
where
the
he keeps
truth,
the
so they'll
most
think you're
sensitive.
joking. Yeah. Bashir will never check
Actually,
there
maybe it's
now.
his decoy hideaway spot.
He's just got exercise equipment down there.
Some shake weights.
I mean, you're looking for the head of the Obsidian Order. I assume he's on Cardassia Prime. Okay. Over 30 years. How old is Garrick?
That is
I'd
a
say around 40.
I don't know how old he's actually supposed to be in the show, but like Andrew Robinson and
He looks like late 30s, early 40s. Granted, it's hard to tell because he's a Cardassian.
Well, see, even Memory Alpha doesn't have an age.
Yeah, I'm looking at
Andrew Robinson and Paul Dooley, who plays in Abrantane, are almost exactly the same age, if I recall correctly. Oh no, never mind. I'm wrong.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to look up Andrew Robinson birthday. And
They're 14
Improbable
years apart.
Cause.
Yeah,
There
Andrew
it is.
Robinson's 14 years younger. That's still very young for an Abrantane to be his dad. But yeah.
You know what? They're
Yeah, like
Kardashians.
you
They
Yeah, 'cause
aged weirdly.
Robinson was born in February
42.
14th. No, 42, yeah.
Garrick is 53. Well, Andrew Robinson is 53 years old here.
So
Really?
for what it's worth, apparently in A Stitch in Time, the book that Andrew Robinson wrote about his own character, Mila is confirmed as his mother.
Okay.
Oh, I read that book and I don't remember that, but
I'm
okay.
one chapter deep, but I ended up looking up like a 4-year-old Daystrom Institute Reddit post. But you know, it's there.
Okay. Does Garrick act, or does Andrew Robinson actually look this good for 53, or is it just the Cardassian makeup hiding all the
Yeah.
wrinkles and stuff and the gray hair?
Makes him look 20 years younger.
His
I mean,
hair is
if you
definitely
want,
dyed
but-
here,
Yeah.
or it's a wig.
Oh, that's not
rather.
that's not his hair. That's a wig. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a wig
That's a
because he has a Cardassian
I mean-
head, but
Whole face
If you-
piece.
If you want to see what it looks like now, the documentary has him show up in a tuxedo, so
This is yeah.
dang, so he's in his 70s now, or
He's 78.
53 and 95, so plus 25 years. 78 he should be now.
And poor Dolly's 92 and still kicking around.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Quark.
That's his bestie right there.
He loves Quark. And Quark
Yeah,
loves
Quark.
him.
I mean, true, but
He's thinking about Quark.
I saw that outtake.
He is a centimeter away from bonking his head on the ceiling. Wow.
That set had to be a pain to shoot in.
Oh, yeah.
He probably did bonk his head off screen.
Yeah, at least the runabout has like handrails, just in case they get into turbulence.
Oh, God, I'm just going to be staring at all the headroom in here now. It's going to be great. I
oh,
want to see Worf in these now.
I'm just thinking of that scene of Gandalf hitting his head on the ceiling in Bag End. Except it wasn't scripted. That's just Ian McKellen is really tall. And Bag End was really small.
Just sets his coffee on the...
He's putting a lot of faith in the inertial dampers if he's just putting his coffee down on the console.
Can we also dissect the fact that this is the equivalent of the entire plot of what's going on right now is this is the equivalent of the KGB and the Gestapo working together to build a navy.
That is kind of a big deal. That is a pretty big
Yeah.
deal.
Well, it
Also,
works
did anybody
apparently.
notice that transporter effect was actually a Borg transporter effect?
Ooh,
I
good
did not
catch.
notice.
Was it? Huh.
It looked weird to me, yeah.
They've got the one green effect.
Yeah,
And they
the
just
green
use it
effect
for
on
every
Romulan, we may as well use it.
green race.
Yeah, well, the Romulans have green ships, don't they? So that makes sense, I guess.
Is that like an omen?
Every species is always on brand with their color schemes. Everything is one color.
Blue, red, yellow, green. Yep.
Are there different effects, though? Like different things floating around?
Yeah, they're different
yeah, 'cause-
visual effects.
Yeah, the Federation transporter beam looks a lot different than the Klingon.
The Federation one is sparkly.
And then the Klingon one is basically most of the effects are center mass.
It's like a bunch of red diamond shapes.
I
that
love how
get,
Tane.
like pulse.
I love how Tane is dressed like someone's granddad. Like he should be in a recliner.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense to me that the transporter effect is different between different races, because, like, fundamentally, that effect should, like, the process by which that actually happens should be a scientifically constant thing. So, like, the actual appearance of the transporter effect has to be, like, artificially imposed upon that or something in other
It's for the
species.
branding.
Branding. It's all about branding. And
Maybe
oddly
the-
enough,
maybe the-
fastest transporter is the Cardassian one.
It's
the
like
least advanced species.
Not only that, but like you look at car engines, like V8 engines, for example, they're not all exactly the same. Like they have different firing
Well,
orders.
no, but what I'm
all
saying
that,
is
but
that's a mechanical thing. The fundamentals upon which an internal combustion engine operates are exactly the same, no matter which internal combustion engine you're looking at. The mechanism by which it actually happens, and the size, like the size of the pistons and the actual diameter of the different parts or whatever. Those of course can be different and still achieve the same function.
right.
But what you're not seeing
know,
is
what I'm saying-
inside of the transporter, they actually have coloring, food coloring in it.
No, what
So
I'm
that's how
saying
they
is,
changed it.
what I'm saying
Obviously,
is,
prisms.
you can have different V8 engines with different piston size and firing orders and all of that, and they sound different. A lot of them sound very different, but they still get you 0 to 60 in 4 seconds or whatever it is.
They
Like
do
the
the same
output is
thing.
the same. Yeah.
In different ways.
Yeah.
Memory Alpha does say that Romulan transporters, at least, are different, although very similar in many ways. So there is precedent for them having somewhat unique technology that accomplishes the same goal.
Every species
kinda
does have a
same
unique
with-
transporter signature that they often scan for. There's got to be some
Yeah,
kind of
it's kinda
difference there.
Kind of same like with warp.
Well, it would
Robin,
make more
they
sense
use,
if
they use
the,
a singularity.
If Starfleet's transporters were red, because we have red blood, and maybe they cover that up because it's really kind of something people don't want to say.
Whenever people are being dematerialized, that's just blood splaying all over the place.
Oh, jeez.
Well, what did the failed transporter accident look like in motion picture? What
Oh,
color
it was
that?
horrifying.
What color was it though?
It was like a blue kind of thing, bluish, sparkly thing, a lot like the TNG.
Yeah,
transporter,
it was
but-
a very light blue.
All right, so the TOS one then.
Yeah, in the motion picture, it was the person was outlined in the sparkly bits, and then the whole transporter beam was actually like a blue cylinder.
So going back to just like villains having color schemes, I read the Lord of the Rings book recently, the trilogy, and it turns out that Sauron, when he demands horse tribute from Rohan, he specifically only takes black horses. Every villain loves color branding. It's very important.
Yeah, it's essential. It keeps you guys on task.
This is why Sauron didn't have cavalry, because he was just obsessed with black horses, and there weren't actually that many of them. Just the worst.
It's the same reason it's important to always give your races xenophobia when you play Stellaris. It gives them something to do.
Yeah. You purge the Xenos.
Something to do. Gives you purpose. He's so proud of it now.
Yeah, he's trying to show off to Dad.
I almost tried to kill myself faking my own death.
Yeah, Tane's into it.
He's so impressed. I'm so proud of you, my boy.
Oh, that was some weird acting from Andrew there. What are you doing, Andrew? Andy.
He's looking at colored horses.
Maybe Cardassians just emote differently.
They feel very strongly when they feel sad.
It's passion.
Wow.
He really sold it.
Good job, Andy. I find it interesting that after these couple of episodes that the Dominion would ever ally with Cardassia.
Do they
I would
know
think they would
about
just
this
commit to the
after
purge.
Oh yeah, there's a changeling on the ship, isn't there?
Oh yeah, the
Also,
the
they know
female
about
changeling
this.
is just yelling at them about how she will destroy every single Cardassian. She'll destroy the entire species, and then she's fine with them.
Well,
Until
she's
the
not
end.
fine with them. She's just using them.
Yeah, I don't think the founders are xenophobic, and so they just use what they can, what they do what they have to do to conquer it all.
I mean, they're pretty xenophobic.
Actually, they are literally xenophobic. They are terrified of every other race out there
I was
because
going to
they're treated so badly.
I was going to say something like they're not xenophobic, they're anti-xeno. But no, they do admit that like they are afraid of solids that are going to kill them, and that's why they bother to.
And not just afraid of
create
them.
their
In
own
that
dudes.
episode, in the
Yeah.
episode where the female changeling and Odo are walking around on the station promenade, and Odo's like going over to her side for a bit. He's like, "Look at them. They're so inferior to us. They're limited."
Wait, Odo says this?
Oh, I don't know if Odo or the changeling says it, but they definitely agree with each other on that point.
Oh right. Yeah.
I'm
Odo's
imagining
just
the
like,
female
it's not their
villain-
fault that they're inferior.
Also, we
And that
talked
is
over
the
the
end of
fact
the
that Garrett's
series.
like, yeah, let's go commit murder or genocide.
Oh boy,
One or the
genocide.
other.
I love
Hey, remember,
genocide.
it's not a war crime. It's not a war crime if you win.
All right, so the next episode is part 2. The die is cast. Just a quick 30-second
Aw,
time we're
dude.
going to put on it.
And then We got to rewind to 0.
Yeah, I was going to say
Yeah,
we're queuing up
rewind
at
to
0,
0
not after.
on the Dice Cast Part 2.
Yeah, unfortunately, if you're watching on Netflix, it will skip the recap automatically. So you have to rewind back to the beginning. Just
Okay.
a PSA.
Shout out to people binge watching this.
So
I like
who's
seeing
Colonel
the-
Lovak? Who's Colonel Lovak? Oh, hang on. Press play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. Oh, is Colonel Lovak the Romulan on the ship here?
Yeah, he's the Romulan commander, also played by God, why can't I remember his name? He's been on Star Trek a lot. Leland Orser.
And he's definitely a Romulan for sure, 100%.
Leland Orser has shown up in quite a few Star Trek episodes.
Okay.
He is in this episode. He's fine, but for the most part, he plays a disturbed individual.
Well, let me look him up. Colonel Lovak. Memory Alpha.
Oh, we got
Here's what I'm
Leland
thinking
Orser.
now. What if, goddamn it, what's the secret spy thing in the Federation? I keep forgetting.
Section 31.
Section 31.
Section-
What if Section 31 helped, which would be the equivalent of the Gestapo, goddamn it, I'm forgetting all my things I just said.
The CIA?
I'll say, yeah, Section 31 is the CIA.
Yeah, so it'd be the equivalent of the Gestapo, the CIA, and
The KGB.
the KGB building a navy. Do you think it would work then?
Well, Section 31
They're just-
used to have a navy. Didn't work out so hot for them.
Hmm.
So I'm looking up Colonel Lovak. Colonel Lovak also plays that episode of Enterprise when they go back in time and the Xindi are trying to like harvest people's blood types to create a bioweapon in the past. He's
Cooper
that
Creek.
human guy that's working with him to harvest the blood types.
Yeah, that episode is oof.
I really like that episode.
No,
Yeah, I
no,
enjoyed
that's
that
what I
one.
mean. It's just disturbing.
Oh yeah, it's messed up, but it's pretty good.
Also, I remember specifically in that episode when his character is introduced, he goes back to his apartment, gets a beer out of the fridge, which he has a fridge, but he goes into the bathroom, and in the bathroom sink is an unfinished pizza, and he takes the pizza out of the bathroom sink and starts eating it. It's disgusting.
Well, where do you store your pizza?
2014 American
In the
Swift.
refrigerator.
But then it's gonna get cold.
Yeah,
Honestly, I personally love cold pizza.
well, he was
Now
letting it
Bashir.
warm up in the sink.
Garrick's rubbed off on him. Yeah, he probably ran some hot water over it to heat it up. That's why it was in the
Boil your
sink.
pizza?
It's sous vide pizza, thank you. It's fancy. The Starship
no, there's no bag
Portland.
involved. It's blanched pizza, man. It's blanched.
It's got to be a certain type of pizza. It can't just be pizza.
Why does
Do we ever
O'Brien
s-
have that thing tucked into his uniform?
I was gonna
That
say,
seems
do we ever see
unnecessary.
anyone else do the little napkin apron thing? The bib?
Not that I
He gave
recall.
himself a bib.
Also, I think Bashir had his soup in a cup there. He had his soup in like one of the mugs.
There's nothing wrong with that. That's super futuristic. I do that. I love that. It's convenient.
Okay.
It's future.
It's an Irish tradition.
Petrocons.
Eating most of your meals out of a pint glass?
Having a
The bib?
having a bib.
I can imagine that would have been something that like O'Brien's mum made him do till he was 23. and
Oh,
moved
okay.
out.
Hey, is the bib actually like an Irish tradition thing? Like, is that legit? Are the writers being cool here?
Yeah, I think that's like definitely something you would do in the British Isles.
I love
We've
how
seen
every
one-
time there's a Tetrion surge near the station, they seem to forget they saw one 3 episodes ago, where it was
And it's
also another
always-
cloaked warbird. It's always a cloaked ship
Every
every
time.
time.
Yeah.
Dax, you are over
Oh
400
man, they're
years
doing
old.
the.
Come on. Catch on here.
That was the end of a part 1 cliffhanger music.
Why do they even decloak to go through the wormhole? Just to be dramatic? They could just
Yeah.
go.
That's how the Romulans roll. They just like to be dramatic.
Well,
I
maybe
know.
they need
Through
their
the-
shields to go through the wormhole, and they can't use their shields when they're cloaked.
That is
Maybe.
reasonable, but I also like the idea where they pull up and they're just like, "Oh wait, that's a Federation station. Everyone decloak and then just slide in real cool."
Can we play some
Fly
Pink Panther
casual.
music over it?
We don't
Oh,
intimidate them by
Romulans.
being cloaked the whole time.
Everyone roll the windows down, turn the music up. Let's make sure they know we're here.
I mean, being
they
sneaky is
say-
very on Romulan brand. So
Yep. It's not on Cardassian brand, though. Maybe that's a compromise. They snuck most of the way, and then the Cardassians insisted they decloak for the last bit.
They pull up. They know that they're gonna see us. Every time we come by, they all run to the screen.
I'm just thinking, if they didn't decloak on the station, they would just see the wormhole open for like 30 minutes, and then nothing happened. It just closed again.
Would they have
That would be-
detected the Cardassian ships? And I can't remember right now. Do Cardassian ships generally have cloaking devices, or is this just because they're
No.
working with the Romulans? Okay.
Just
they're the
because of the
Romulans.
Romulans.
Okay.
it would. be
It's just
kind of
Romulans and
creepy.
Klingons have cloaks.
Now, does the Federation have a way of decloaking everything?
No.
Like they do.
Probably something involving radiation.
I mean, Data
They-
did figure out that one weird trick.
And I'll say, yeah, you can use a
I mean, the
tachyon
one weird
net.
trick was to shoot them.
Shoot
Yeah.
around them.
So yeah, in that episode, there was that Romulan fleet that was trying to get through to Klingon space, and the way they detected them was they deployed just a fleet of starships and like made a net of tachyon pulses, or whatever it was. Neutrino beams, tachyons, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then whenever a Romulan ship would fly through, it would disrupt the beam, and then they would say, oh, there must be a ship there.
I think it was neutrinos. I think they usually use neutrinos for that stuff. I don't know why.
That was a thorough.
I don't know,
explanation.
I can think of the term tachyon net. Sounds very familiar. I think it's a tachyon net. And Paul Dooley as a Nobrantane.
Oh, looks like tachyon detection grid was correct. Yeah, that's
Dr.
exactly the
Parmack.
episode. What a
Derek's
G.
good.
Please, Daddy, appreciate me.
Notice me simple.
Why don't you love me, Anobran?
You are my dad. You're my dad.
He's so happy. He is so happy. Look at him.
Garrick's been constantly stressed out for 3 years. He needs this.
He did just kind of try to kill himself. Does that a few times, actually, now that I think about it.
And I like how they had synchronized drinking with their glasses. Just go and get a physical from Dr. Primack and just stare at him the whole time? What are you planning there, Garrick?
It's interesting that Cardassia would let a doctor practice medicine after committing a felony, I would imagine.
Well, was it a real felony or was it a felony?
I mean, they sent him to a labor camp for 3 years, so it was probably pretty bad.
Yeah, but they're Cardassians. You could get murder. You get death for just, I don't know, jaywalking.
You get
Oh, yeah,
exiled
isn't
for
like-
not paying your taxes.
I was going to say the majority of their punishments are capital, right?
Exactly. So 3 years in a labor camp, probably like minor offense.
Or very important person, but we got to do something.
Oh yeah, here's what we were talking about earlier, where Nobrantane is basically just saying he's gonna execute Mila. He's going to assassinate her. And Garrick says, no, don't. She's cool.
Yeah, 3 years in a labor camp is probably like unpaid parking tickets.
Yeah, I can see that.
So what did Garrick do?
We
Can't
don't know.
remember.
It's never revealed.
It's never made clear.
Not even in beta content.
Nope.
So the Deep Space Nine book that Andrew Robinson writes kind of has some of that in there, but it's not canon.
Oh, there's Colonel Lovok, the
Go
Romulan.
Into it
Romulan,
when
yeah.
he tells the story of Elam earlier.
It's so confusing that we never get a clear idea of exactly what happened.
True.
Yeah, Garrick tells the 3 stories in season 2. Like, one is he kills a Gull's daughter or son. Another story is he saves a group of Bajorans. And the third is that he let the Bajorans... I don't remember what the third one was.
It's definitely on purpose to keep him mysterious.
But I think that was more just a metaphor for, like, Elam being his conscience and messing up something he did. More than specific details. I don't know, I think the changing might be right there.
No, it's a Romulan.
It's a Romulan, for sure.
You can tell by the way that he's behaving like every other Romulan we've ever seen. Politely,
I mean, look at his
and
hair.
calmly, and a little afraid of the people that he's talking to.
Look at his hair. That is such Romulan hair.
Jeff, you probably have YouTube on as well.
It is a prison cell. I mean, Odo, couldn't you just, like, be a little mouse and wait by the door for someone to come in? You just leave.
Like a flea.
Yeah.
Disguise yourself as like a carpet in front of the door, have him walk on you, break his legs. It's easy, man.
Be a snail, hang
he has
out like
trouble
just
doing-
on the top of the door frame and then slither on up the top. Yeah, that Romulan is leading door, sir. He was
light
from...
bulb.
Yeah,
describe
he was
holes in
from
the
a
roof.
bunch of stuff.
He could slither through those, couldn't he?
He did say that there were force fields around everything, so he would have to use the door.
All right, okay.
But Odo has so many options he's not exploring.
He's not a very good shapeshifter.
He hasn't learnt yet.
He's very stiff.
Well, he's definitely
He's had
on
plenty
the
of practice with
inside.
Quark.
True.
Yeah, but Quark's easy.
Has he met the
something
female
like a dog
changeling?
or a hawk.
Yeah.
Yes, they've met.
Okay.
They haven't done much together, but they have met once.
There is a point where like he gets straight up lessons from a changeling, and then there's some advancement in his ability.
Yeah.
And then after he meets Laz,
Yeah,
He now
changelings
knows what it
don't
means
always
to
get
be
along.
a stone. For all
Or
the good that
mist.
does for you.
or light. Yeah, he can't do anything right now. Comparatively.
Yeah. Just got to remember where we are in the story.
Well, he's doing what he can do best. He's trying to convince this guy to let him out. Oh,
Heck, that didn't work. That usually works.
Oh, hey, Tane. Is that Eddington? Hey, Eddington.
Oh yeah, he was a special guy for the war.
Yeah, he was it Starfleet security on DS9?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like a special assignment.
Very trustworthy guy, would never betray anybody.
He's
yeah, I
specifically
trust
assigned to Deep Space Nine because Starfleet security doesn't trust Odo with security.
That's great. Such a trustworthy face.
The irony of that.
And Odo, later on, Odo will point out that irony. Odo has a great time with it.
Hey, Zephyr Cochrane said that before. Don't steal his line.
Hey, Admiral in a gold uniform. Cool.
If this, I believe, is the only time we see an admiral in anything other than red.
An old style uniform.
An engineering admiral.
This backwater space station has the newer uniforms than the admiral they're talking to.
Well, I think it's kind of weird because was it in Homefront when Cisco goes back to Starfleet Command, he switches to old uniforms also.
Yeah, these are.
Yeah.
Really?
People say like
yeah.
these are station uniforms they're wearing here.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was the rule. Station uniforms versus everywhere else uniforms.
Also, this is not the only time we see. Well, I guess it is an admiral, but later on we get Commodore O, who is in a green uniform, and she is not exactly a captain. I don't know how a Commodore fits into the command structure, but
It's
I
above
assume
a
it's just
captain.
I assume it's
above
just
a
below
captain.
admiral.
Yeah, above a captain, but below an admiral.
so it's like the naval equivalent of a colonel. Then
Yeah, Commodore controls more than one ship.
Yeah, but not a fleet.
When did we get?
She was
Anything?
security. So like, security is in operations, isn't it? So that would
Yes.
be why.
yes,
With O.
he's head of Starfleet security, maybe.
And that was the O was Starfleet security.
No, I'm talking about this guy too. I think he's in Starfleet security as well.
Yeah.
He might have been.
Yeah, Odo's Bajoran security.
No, I meant the admiral.
So when did we get
that guy-
Eddington? I don't remember when he showed up.
Oh god, he shows up in early season 2?
No,
I remember we had
But he's a
Primin.
different actor.
We had Primin before. Eddington came with the Defiant? Okay.
He came in season 3, part 1, The Search.
Eddington's pretty cool, though. I like him.
Yeah, he's a good character.
He even made it into the song. 12 CFI replicators.
Eddington in Voyager.
No.
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 No, he's
'Cause
only
he-
in DS9.
His storyline definitively comes to an end in DS9 later on.
It's been a while since I watched DS.
We do get to see Barclay
He
in
becomes
Voyager, who has a
Q.
similar hairstyle, but no.
Who was the Maquis trader on Voyager? I was doing all the spying of Seska.
Seska.
Most of them. Half the
Yes,
crew.
he's Fresca.
Yeah, half the crew.
No,
Technically.
I mean the guy that throughout season 2 that was communicating. Or that,
Oh,
Uh,
that's the guy who plays
crazy.
Cartho Nassi, and he plays Kaden Nolenko. I don't know his name in Voyager, but I know his Raphael Sabarge is the actor's name. Michael Jonas.
thank you.
Or, to me, he's just Karth. He'll always be Karth.
And then there was
And
Okay,
it's
yeah,
like,
no.
oh my goodness, I can't believe they're doing this to an authority figure, disobeying orders.
Eddington is not happy about
Yeah,
this.
who would do that?
Not Eddington. No, that's
No,
below
not
him.
Eddington.
He would never.
Starfleet man through and through.
100%.
He follow his orders. Anything else
Honor
is
the
a luxury.
uniform.
Hey, was that a model or was that CGI? Trying to show off CGI.
The Defiant?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a good question. They mix it in this show. This is definitely
I
a
don't
model
know.
shot.
That's a
Yeah, I
model.
know in Voyager you can tell the difference because of aft lighting, but I don't remember how you can tell on the Defiant.
Because they tried to do some brand new camera angle of them leaving the station. So I thought that was maybe a new CGI thing. Something. I don't know.
I've heard there's this other YouTube show that we won't mention that goes into those kinds of things.
I've heard similar things.
But we would never watch another Star Trek show on YouTube.
Yeah,
No.
you guys wouldn't do that.
This
Of
is
course
the
not.
nicest, calmest Romulan I have ever seen. I cannot get over this. He's talking like Tuvok.
Romulans are great people. Don't worry about it.
Very cool. and
Colonel
level-headed,
Lovak
yes.
is a good person.
He is.
One might say he's even talking like Odo.
Shh. Didn't mention it.
Don't mention what? What are you talking about?
Nope, nothing.
Yeah, no, he sounds like Tuvok. Vulcans are related. It's exactly. Just bang up job.
He's just 1,000 years he's just 1,000 years early with the unification and stuff.
4D chess, yeah.
Yeah.
The lighting on his face here is so...
And we'll never use it again after this episode.
Well,
You'd think
I
this
mean,
would be
technically got
so
destroyed.
helpful. Well, I assume they have the blueprints for it still. They can just make another one. That seems like critical information, having a device that can just completely neutralize shapeshifters.
Just another one on the list of technologies that we'll never see again.
How many times have we cured death on the show so far? Is it 2 or 3?
With triple DNA.
How many times do you
Super
count Vedic Barile?
nanorobes in Voyager.
Yep. Kirk is brought back after dying. Neelix is brought back after dying. Kirk is brought back after dying again in the JJ verse.
They were
Harry
so
Kim.
close to the right course by killing off Neelix. Why did they have to bring him back?
Harry Kim.
Okay.
He got better later.
How many times did
The Neelix episode about him dying is horrifying. It's just Existential Crisis, the show. Why would you do that?
Harry Kim was also killed? How many times did he die?
When Picard dies, they just shove it under the rug.
Yeah, Picard gets better. Picard gets a literal Deus Ex Machina when he dies. And then he dies a second time, actually, and he gets better then too.
Golem S Machina.
What about him?
The first time Picard quote-unquote dies, we don't know that he actually dies.
I mean, Q says he did. And Q's a trustworthy narrator.
Yeah, that's one thing about Q. He never lies.
He always tells
See,
the truth, especially
Eddington
when he
follows his
lies.
orders. I mean, O'Brien did die many times last week, but I mean, he also kind of didn't die because this version of O'Brien never died. And the versions of O'Brien that did die, might have stayed dead. I don't know how it works. I hate temporal mechanics.
Did you say stated? Versions of
Stayed
O'Brien.
dead. Stayed
Oh,
dead.
So,
okay.
Eddington's a snitch.
Interesting that Cisco's going to promote him after this later on.
I give you my word.
Thank you,
That's,
Eddington.
It's worth a lot.
Why does Memory Alpha call him Michael Jonas if his name's Eddington?
Michael Jonas is the guy from Voyager who is working with Siska. Jonas is the guy who plays Cartho Nassi and Kaden Alenko, and the actor is Raphael Sabarge. He's also in Once Upon a Time as Jiminy Cricket, I believe. Odo, you're really putting no effort into escaping.
What's the fun in that?
Escape where?
Wait,
To launch
So
Bay
that
3,
device-
where the shuttle is.
so wait, I have a question about that device. If that thing has to be lined up perfectly, why don't you just knock it over?
Well, he doesn't know. He doesn't know how to act when he can't shapeshift. He doesn't know how to do anything. He just starts
knock over
panicking.
Why not just knock over the device?
Knock it over, like pick it up and smash it into the metal table. You could try something. Garrick's not going to stop you. Maybe should have already done that.
He wants him to transform into something?
Yeah.
I think
He wants him to
I want
try.
try anyway.
Congratulations, Odo. You're solid now.
This must be
In
terrible.
3D.
Oh.
Oh, that effect.
Garrick has a lot of faith.
Whoa,
Yeah,
I got
government
really
result.
there.
Don't lunge at the camera like that.
Hey, one thing is Garrick has a lot of faith in that device that's never been tested.
Yeah, Tane said it was a prototype, didn't he?
Yeah.
He trusts Tane.
I mean, if he's trying to do an interrogation, he probably has to put on an air of confidence, even if he's not sure it's going to work.
Yeah, but if it fails, he's screwed.
Yeah. But still,
I'm sure
he has
would've
to
found
put
a
on
way
his
to-
brave face.
Yeah.
So I have an interesting question. If Odo took his shirt off right now, what would we see?
I don't think he could.
I think it's still attached to him.
It's not his shirt, it's him.
I know.
I don't think
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think he like shapeshifted a separate shirt. I think it's more like he added some pigmentation to his outer layer of skin.
Well, I think that his outer layer of skin became the uniform. But if you were to pull that off, would it just turn to goo, or would it stay like that because it can't transform?
It'd be like pulling off.
Well, I'm saying I don't think he
Yeah,
can
you
take
can't
it
take
off.
it off.
It's
Yeah,
like
that's
pulling
what we're
off your.
saying. Like it would be like skinning Odo, essentially.
I think it's literally physically attached to his torso.
It's a skin.
Which is
like-
just interesting because you do see like the front of the shirt just kind of flapping around. So,
yeah,
like,
he
there's
shapeshifted a little
portions
skin
of it?
flap.
just imagine that having a bit of flap out of your chest, just out in there in the air all the time.
So technically, Odo
Yeah, because
is
not
naked.
all of it. Like
Yes.
it is not a skin tight shirt, despite
did
Oh,
it
here's-
being. Oh boy,
I'll
here we
agree
go.
there's not a lot of hair
Here's
on
the
him.
flaking. Well, now he's being skinned.
So how much time has passed? Because that was very quick.
Yeah, it takes like weeks for everyone else.
Did we even get a commercial break there? That was like
No, just
I think we're meant to think that it's been hours, but like also I think he said that he was already close to the end of his 16-hour cycle, 18-hour cycle.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
oh yeah,
So-
he was like he was about to go to bucket, but
the
like,
top of
wow.
Odo's head here. You
Hey,
can
this-
see you can see the separate bit that they designed to flake off. It's clearly
Yeah,
not attached to his head.
He was in a situation before of Roxanne.
I'm not just thinking of when there's the shapeshifter virus in season 7, and the female changing and everyone else can't shapeshift for like months, and they're totally fine for most of it.
Keep in mind those are better shapeshifters than Odo is.
Infinitely better, yeah.
They might have some charge because they're in the link a long time. I don't know.
Their shapeshifter batteries are charged.
Also, I'm pretty sure the virus still allowed them to shapeshift. They just weren't good at holding it anymore.
Not at the end. They did eventually lose their ability to shapeshift.
Yeah,
Don't
she
remember
says
that
she hasn't been able to change form for weeks at one point.
Oh dear.
And she's very upset about it.
Not as upset as I think Odo is right now. Oh, maybe.
Well, when Odo changes into different things, he probably has to do the voice too. I mean, unless he physically
Wait, is that
redesigns his voice too, voice box. But
is that
I mean,
is that Renee's head?
Shapeshifters.
That might be more of Renee's head than Odo's face, yeah.
I'm looking at that on the forehead on the left side of the screen. I think that's actually just Renee.
That's just straight peeled. You can see under it. Yeah, it looks like it's just a little bit of makeup to do like the super strong eyebrows and the nose bridge and just stuff on his cheeks and chin.
Well, what color did you expect it to be?
I'm just not used to seeing Renee. He's always in full Odo mask, except in that Far Beyond the Stars.
I'm not used to seeing Saru.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
wow.
hang on. Nobody say nothing about that.
Nope. Not yet. We have to be good.
We have to be good.
What's the embargo?
I
guess till the next episode, maybe.
I'm just gonna make a hard rule and say 2 weeks after the finale.
I'm good with that. I will admit
Okay.
that I was screaming for a good 30 seconds though.
Yes. That
And nothing more
As
about
soon
that
as-
now.
Nothing else, but yeah.
We just have to keep up with it and see how it turns out. I think the season's almost over.
Cautiously
2 more
optimistic.
episodes. So we can talk about season 3 in 4 weeks, and exactly 1 month from today, we can talk about season 3. And we can also talk about it like after we finish watching the episodes and have like an ending bit where we just talk about Discovery. We just need to preface it with there's spoilers from now on.
Speaking of people binge watching this, we're on season 3 of TNG, about episode 18. If you're following along on that too.
Yep. And I'm thinking after we finish DS9, which we're probably going to finish DS9 first, we might do the animated series as the next one.
That would be
Oh, classic.
Just because that's the only Star Trek I have not seen, so it'll be a
Same.
blind
It's
watch through
so
for me.
weird, but so much fun. There's actually some half decent stories in that too.
There's like 2 award-winning stories in that one, aren't there?
Oh, that's very
yeah?
convincing,
You did.
Colonel Lovok. Colonel Lovok's interest in the Changeling is strictly for the security of the Romulan Empire, for sure.
This is the most Romulan that has ever Romulaned on screen.
Romulan.
Yeah, did the little Odo flakes shapeshift back into the bucket, or did they just stay flaking on the floor until Odo picked them back up?
They did the Terminator 2 thing where they all just kind of
He has to awkwardly get up afterwards and be like, sorry, picking them up. Sorry about that.
A little silver tentacle just kind of goes out, turns into a rake, pulls everything in.
Vacuum cleaner.
Wait, I like the vacuum cleaner better.
So here's
nice
attempt
to work
number
out
1
all
of
the
Garrett
guts
committing
out of his
genocide
skin.
against the Founders. Attempt number 1. Not just 30% of the surface, 30% of the entire planetary crust.
Yeah, that's huge.
That's
I
yeah.
love the pizza analogy.
The pizza analogy?
Oh, the
What
crust.
was the number of life
Oh.
signs on that planet that's made up of one multi-faceted organism?
Don't worry about it.
Oh wait, they do have like Jem'Hadar soldiers and stuff on the planet.
Really? Only 150? Wow.
They've got like 8 ships.
Isn't the Dominion fleet like thousands and thousands strong?
The lighting on this ship is very strong for Garrick.
So that planetary bombardment is sort of a thing I always think of when people are talking about the relative power of Star Wars and Star Trek ships. It seems like Star Wars ships, whenever they're trying to do a bombardment, they only destroy cities on the surface with sustained bombardment. They destroyed the entire crust of a planet. And it took one shot from the fleet.
From
They destroyed
6
as much as
ships.
the script required. Especially because in First Contact, those Borg torpedoes are capable of, blowing up one building?
Hey,
Yeah,
I'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah, the Borg attack on Earth was really weird. I don't know why the Borg were doing basically no damage to that settlement.
I'm off. See ya.
Okay.
There is something I am curious about. What if the plan did succeed?
Then they win. Then there's no Dominion War because there's no Dominion.
Yes, but then you also have the fact that the Romulans and Cardassian spy agencies built their own fleet, worked together without their government's knowledge, and then them going back to their governments.
I imagine the Central Command and the Romulan Senate probably wouldn't be willing to condemn them if they were successful, just because they would be like saviors to the Empire. They'd probably let it go, I think. Why would this Romulan be helping Noto?
Because
What
he's
an
the most
odd thing.
Romulan in all of Romulus.
What do you mean, Garrick? That's a What do you mean? Why didn't they destroy the fleet before they bombarded the planet? Could have just ambushed and killed them without losing the planetary crust.
They moved everybody. They wanted to rub it in. This is my favorite Romulan.
Do the Klingons have a secret intelligence service? Everyone else does.
Yes, they do.
Spying is for cowards.
Remember Oda locked up those special forces Klingon assassins?
Were they
Yeah.
official state actors?
Yeah, they were working for the High Council.
Okay, so yeah, and then in Discovery season 1, we get the female Klingon whose name I can't remember, but she's part of a special spy clan or something. House
Okay.
of Spies.
Yeah, but it's just called Klingon Intelligence. There's no special name for it.
Oh yeah, this came out.
Oh yeah, Arn Darvin was also Klingon intelligence. That's
Oh,
right.
hey.
Yeah. A lot of the music in this episode is from Star Trek Generations, I think.
These
You-
camera
you-
angles.
You okay, Nabran?
I don't think he's okay.
Do you want to go to your quiet retirement with Mila, or do you want to go to a Dominion prison camp and be tortured for the rest of your life? Apparently he likes the prison camp more.
They're holding this close up way longer than I think I'm comfortable with. Jeez.
No, the Founders part of the Dominion.
So I say that again?
Founders.
Are the Founders and the Dominion, are they working together?
The Founders founded the Dominion.
They are the Dominion.
Yeah, I think someone has said at some point, yeah. I am the Senate.
Yeah, the Founders control the Vorta control the Jem'Hadar. And the Jem'Hadar control their subjugated species across the Dominion.
It's nice when everything just fits into one sentence like that. That is the entirety of their power structure. Exactly.
Yes, that is the order of things.
That is the way. So did he get punched in the side of the face or torched? Because that looks like a burn.
On and back.
I don't know because that's where the sun glare is, so the
He
half
was
of the
kinda
face that I can see looks fine.
He was like rubbing it when
He has a black
he was-
eye, though, yeah.
It's a very black eye. It's hemorrhaging.
I think Odo turned his hand into a fireball and slapped him in the face.
He deserved it,
I
honestly.
mean, have you ever seen a bruised Cardassian?
I've
Why
seen
are
Gold
they even
Scott.
shooting Odo? They really should not be shooting Odo's runabout.
Yeah, do they know he's on there?
Lovok surely would have told them.
Has that ship not blown up yet?
No, it's still they can't blow it up because they have to capture a Nobrin for next season. Or season after.
I believe you. I don't remember seeing a Nobrin again after this.
No, he shows up in the Dominion prison camp in Purgatory's shadow.
Oh, okay. The same one that like Worf and Garrick are stuck in, or is this a different?
Yeah, that
Dominion?
same
Okay.
one.
Okay.
Because Garrick goes to that camp because he got a message from Tane. That was
I
just
thought
the
it was
word
just a
alive repeated over and over again.
Avery Brooks enjoyed delivering that line.
Yeah, they really should not be shooting the Defiant. Just let it go. Odo's on board.
That was ballsy.
They just murdered someone.
I mean, they're Jem'Hadar ship, so they just murdered 7 people tops, maybe? Like 2 Jem'Hadar and maybe a Vorta per ship? Serious question, those are not full ships.
Well, I think the only real indication we get of the size of a crew of one of those ships is from Rocks and Shoals, where one of the ships has crashed on a planet and they need to... There's a
that
group
is
of
one
Jem'Hadar
single-
and a Vorta that have survived.
It's a single ship, though, because that's a Vorta and a couple of dudes.
Yeah, there's like, 12 Jem'Hadar, and some of them died in the crash, so maybe like 15 total on the ship.
Somehow more than I expected on one of those little ships, but that makes sense.
How dare you?
How dare you?
They
promote
just
me?
kind of confirmed how there are so many bad admirals, if that's the general.
Well, that's the problem of all famous captains that get promoted. Because if you're probably an admiral, you rather follow the rules strictly, or you were Kirk.
Yeah, well, Kirk got demoted.
Kirk got demoted for the same things that got him promoted in the first place.
Yeah.
Yeah, now he's seen as a legend and a hero of the Federation. So more people will try to be like him, and people who act like him get promoted.
Oh, this is a pretty dramatic shot. It's just going to linger on this same angle for like 5 minutes here.
Yeah, this is a good scene.
Shatner was sort of a wind-up doll. He would just keep going and going and going until he would crash at the end of the day.
Andy does not get a break. It's just... he has to maintain this face for quite a while. Camera is not going to pan away from him. So, they know at this point that Garrick is the one who detonated his shop. Does he have to pay for repairs? Or are they fine with that?
It's the Federation. They'll let it go.
He's a very good tailor.
You think he does bar mitzvahs?
Stock.
What does Odo eat?
Nothing. He just gathers energy from the lights or something.
How long was that dramatic shot on
couple
this
minutes.
weekly sci-fi show?
It's like a good 2 minutes there.
That was
Yeah.
great.
And just all that acting through that makeup. Oof.
What a god.
Yeah. No, the recurring Cardassians are damn good with that acting through makeup.
So the next episode is going to be Explorers, which is an excellent episode, and I won't hear a word against it. No, you're allowed to dislike. You're allowed to dislike
in
it.
this episode.
That's like a
that-
invitation.
I really want to ask this because I can't remember. Don't they imply in this episode that Cardassians may be related to Bajorans?
They do.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, I guess it's kind of backed up by the fact that... What? I guess it's kind of backed up by the fact that Gul Dukat can just have children with Bajorans without any medical intervention. It just works.
Yeah, that's a little. That's kind of
Card-
alarming.
Cardassians and Bajorans
Well-
can have children.
Next
How
gen,
do-
season 7 resolved that.
Dukat
one-
does that twice.
Press play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play.
Oh yeah, this is Lita's introduction as well.
Oh, everyone cheer for Rom. This is when Rom's life turns around.
Oh no, that's not this episode.
No, but Rom has something. I don't want to say something to do now.
No, Rom and Lita don't become a thing for a little while yet.
Ram and Bashir, or not Ram and Bashir, no. Lita and Bashir. Lita and Bashir become some. And we get that whole episode on Ryza, where Worf becomes a domestic terrorist for an episode where they break up. God, that was a weird episode.
I for
it's-
some reason don't remember that one.
It's the one that's called Let He Who Is Without Sin, and Jadzia and Worf go to Ryza, and then Lita and Bashir and Quark hitch a ride with them. And then Worf becomes a domestic
Oh, I
terrorist.
love this part. Very tough.
Wow. That was smooth. Man, that
What's that?
The Lexington.
We'll
Bashir
find
knows
out.
someone on the Lexington. And Lita doesn't even compare to whoever's on the Lexington.
yeah, that was like free.
Elizabeth Lenz. Do you suppose she knows what a preganglionic fiber is?
No, but she might know what a preganglionic nerve is.
Okay. Or would that be a
Isn't that how-
postganglionic?
We've already
There you-
established that Bashir threw his final exam
Yeah.
just to not be the valedictorian.
Has that already been established, or is that established later?
No,
It was
We established
established.
that in 5.
Yeah, it was established in the episode where the Lethian invades his mind.
Right.
Right. Holy crap, he got tall.
Oh, hey.
All
He has a
right,
goatee.
it begins.
This is why
Okay.
he's becoming.
Now, Cisco, that doesn't really suit you while you still have hair. You need to shave your head.
They
can't
were
have-
working
Ain't
with
getting
the
up.
sensors.
You can't have both.
I think they're forcing the network's hands. Like, okay, if you won't let us go all the way, we're gonna do the beard. He's just gonna look weird until you agree.
Why didn't they want bald?
Because first of all, scary.
Avery
Bald
wanted to be
Man-
bald.
Yeah,
Sorry, everyone talked over each other. What was
but
that?
the network said that they didn't want him to resemble his previous character. I can't remember the name of the character. Someone can Google
Something
or
Hawk.
Hawk.
Yeah, Hawk. And it was also like the image of assertive, somewhat aggressive, scary bald black man. They didn't want that image associated, so they were like, no, clean shaven. Give him a nice, inoffensive, friendly haircut. Make him smile a lot. And they pushed it, and they got the better one.
Right.
As soon as he shaves his head, we'll get real Cisco.
Yeah.
I think
Right
we
now
only
we
get
have-
this, like
We're
2
like
episodes
Cisco
of this.
1.5.
Yeah.
Did they ever explain how these solar ships got into orbit? Because they're not chemically propelled,
I
and you can't.
I
I
think-
have no idea.
Probably built in space.
If it is in the lore at all, I promise you, Cisco will tell you about it in a minute.
Oh, we're gonna get so much exposition in this episode. That's the
It's
entire
quite nice.
episode is exposition. There
I
is
like
zero
this ship.
action.
The whole concept of this episode is just great. But yeah, how do they get this thing off the ground?
I assume they built it in space. The Bajorans, I think, did have space stations. Or, at least one space station. On Bajor, or around Bajor. They just couldn't go to warp, I guess. They couldn't get to other star systems.
Are they like in maybe like a planetary desert or something? No other systems except Cardassia nearby?
I don't know.
Well, it
Is
Where's-
even
it is-
Cardassian nearby?
it is Deep Space Nine. Maybe there were 8 other prototypes of it.
I'm
which were
pretty
all
sure
a
that
failure.
it's possible. I'm pretty
But the
sure
other
that
deep
Cardassia
space-
is the closest.
The other deep space stations are just Federation stations, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just further, like, far out. But yeah,
Hang on, this isn't even a Bajoran station. This is a Cardassian station.
Well, yeah,
The
you can't have the
Bajorans did not
Bajoran
build
station
this.
left there. Oh, I remember in season 1, I talked a lot about was it Bajoran slave labor that built the station? The Cardassians built it themselves, and we learned that the Cardassians did build it themselves. It wasn't slave
thought they-
labor in this case.
Such honorable people.
They're so nice. Should really have a
Not only-
statue of Ducat.
Not only are we going to employ every Bajoran on the planet, we're going to build the structures you work in.
Well, they couldn't let the Bajorans build it because they would have sabotaged it almost.
This is
certainly.
true.
Guest stars Mark Alimo as Gul Dukat. Good to know.
Chase.
So he builds a spaceship for this
With a
episode.
circular saw.
Yeah, but yet to
Yeah.
build those kit-built aircrafts, it takes people a year. And that's if they're an AMP and all that, and have all the background.
Yeah, Cisco's going to be completely neglecting his job as station commander for a month here.
Wow,
He does that a lot.
I forget how many hours it to build an RV9, advanced aircraft kit-built aircrafts, but yeah. I
What
don't
do
see
y'all
him
think are
building-
in those? Sorry, what do you think are in those Klingon labeled barrels behind him?
Blood wine.
frozen gawk?
Frozen. Ugh.
Look, Kara,
That's the least likely.
It is a complete fluke that the Bajorans ever made a Cardassian. It is not their engineering that got it there. It was a complete fluke of the spatial anomalies.
Oh, yeah, I noticed something about the Klingon. They interlock, so they won't fall over.
Klingons have efficient design, I guess.
No, Worf taught him a good lesson.
Yeah.
If we're on a Klingon ship, that wouldn't happen to him.
Poor Worf.
Or store the proper, so when it melts the container.
Worf's one true enemy, empty barrels.
I bet his one
tragic.
true enemy was parenting skills.
God, there's so many awful
man.
parents in Star Trek.
Huh.
And Star Wars.
But not Cisco.
I mean, Cisco's a terrible parent to his next kid.
And the Mandalorian is an amazing father.
Oh, yeah. Din
Oh,
Djarin. He's pretty cool.
Yeah, whoever said Star Wars.
Is Darth Vader a good dad?
No.
Darth Vader was all about nepotism, really. He wanted Luke to rule the galaxy just because he was his son.
He just wanted what was best for his boy.
You can't just promote someone
Yeah.
to ruler of the entire empire just because they're related to you, Vader.
So wait. He went from stick welding to MIG welding.
Freaking, he's become Noah. Gonna build an ark. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, Quark was going to be an insurrection. Quark and insurrection was going to be vacationing on that planet. And he was going to have this... I think there's like one picture available of Quark on set. And he's wearing some like fancy purple clothes. Probably has a hat.
His
Retired.
beard is like doubled in length in that little time skip montage.
That's just to let
It's
us know that how long he's been neglecting his duties.
Yeah, he has not been working for a long time now. His hair is even bigger. Everything. It's not just makeup.
I got a feeling. How long did it take him to build that? I got a feeling it's going to be months.
I think it's established it's at least a couple of months.
It would have to
I
be.
don't know. I'm
Like we're
memory
saying-
offing it.
Because like I said
I mean-
earlier, how long it takes to build like one of those kit build aircrafts here for him to build.
I don't know if we can really judge that based on Cisco's hair growth, though, because maybe Avery Brooks just grows his hair really quick. Plenty of people do. It could have been like a day.
Don't look at it. You'll go blind. Not go blind, but your eyes will feel like sand the next day.
Oh, she's looking at it.
There you go. Check in the chat.
That would fry digital.
Okay, this show's messing me up. I just called the dog over because he started barking and I accidentally called him Odo. This dog is not called Odo.
You are nothing, dog. You are nothing.
Are you a good dog, Odo? Who's a good shapeshifter? Yes, I know. You're very upset about the mailman. You're okay.
I love that they got a brown paper bag lunch with a plastic Tupperware.
No, the dog doesn't have any Star Trek names. One dog is Uther. One dog is Annie. Though Annie I didn't name. Uther I named. He's a good dog, most of the time.
Boofy?
What was that?
Nothing. You said Boofy or your dog?
Boofy? What? No.
The grounds.
There's Annie and there's Uther.
Okay.
And Uther is definitely named after Uther Pendragon and not Uther the Lightbringer from Warcraft 3. For sure. I would never name a dog after a video game character.
Or a Game of Thrones character?
Is there a Game of Thrones Uther? I've never
No.
seen it or read it.
No. It was a joke about all these kids. Daenerys or Daenerys, whatever the heck her name was.
Oh,
I don't know what he has against Boothby. I don't get it.
Speaking of Boothby, how about that Voyager episode when we see alien Boothby?
Cool. Oh, and they also brought up New Zealand didn't exist in Trek. That's a reference to First Contact. When Picard opens up the door for Lily, show Australia, but no.
Maybe they rebuilt it.
Okay, that's a pretty big ship for something that's propelled with light sails.
Yeah.
That's going to take a long time to accelerate.
Does anybody know how I know they were talking about it, like a 1 meter square, something real. How big the sails would have to shine a light at it and pushes it. There's something to discuss about light sail satellite that they push it to go somewhere with like lasers.
No
Oh,
idea.
yeah, that is a proposed thing. Yeah, have like 1,000 of them go for Proxima Centauri, I think.
Yeah, something like that. But it's like real small, like a sat.
Yeah.
You have to shine some big ass laser at it. On the moon, something like that. I don't know. I forget. It was a while back.
Yeah, I think they did something with Neil deGrasse Tyson, his show. He discussed it.
Yeah.
So what was this a real competition between them? Surely Bashir could have just mopped the floor with her if he really wanted to. Because, you know, genetically enhanced intelligence. Does this episode make sense in the context of what we learn later on?
Yeah.
I'm not sure
If you
it does.
want it to, you can make it. He's lying. He's lying to protect himself.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Oh, I'm never going to look at him the same way.
And Mark?
Oh, hi, Mark.
It's like the Matrix.
Oh, Lens is also genetically engineered. That would make sense, how it's a competition. Anyone smarter than me is just genetically engineered. That's how it works.
That's probably a very comforting philosophy to have in the 2400s.
Yeah.
And I mean, the genetics wars of the 1990s were fairly recent in their memory for some reason. So yeah, no, they're out there. They're real.
Cisco has a lot of stake in this for some reason. This is just a hobby. Now he's like committed to proving Bajoran history.
This is when he truly becomes of Bajor.
Oh, that's quite a ministry.
That's like the jerk store called and they're running out of you kind of comeback, but he somehow made it better.
I need to start using that. It's like I didn't realize you were head of the ministry
of telling
just
me how
whatever
to do my
relevant
job.
thing.
So what ministry is Q part of then?
The ministry of being better than me.
How's it moving when they haven't deployed the sail?
Where is the gravity coming from?
They gotta push.
Why are there brakes?
I think they
on
actually say
spaceship?
they installed. I think they do say they installed grav plating on it.
Why are there brakes on a
The
spaceship?
gravity net, he said.
How do brakes on a spaceship even work? You don't have thrusters.
Exactly.
How are they moving before they deploy the?
So
I assume the station gave them a push.
Well, it's a solar ship, so like it's just running on photons, but like it's like how do you slow down a ship in the water? You'd have to like drop the sails and use an anchor or something. There are problems with this.
Yeah, a solar ship can only really stop if it doesn't have backup thrusters. When it's approaching the other star system, it just slows down the same as it sped up coming in.
Yeah, it would have to have some sort of opposite force. There are issues here.
Yeah, they just swing around and let the photons slow them down.
Newton's first law isn't really a thing in Star Trek.
Yeah, that's true. Objects at impulse tend to drop to 0 speed when they lose impulse.
This is verifiably how it works.
Objects in motion do not stay in motion unless acted on by an outside force.
Or they need to for there to be drama.
because there was the one time they were towing the Stargazer, and they said let momentum carry it.
Just that one time.
One single time. Science.
The first
actually
law-
slightly worse.
The first law applies when it's convenient. Just like how the Prime Directive only applies when it's convenient.
Bajorans have a very nice color scheme.
It's warm. It's relaxing. There's a lot of bronze, actually. Why is...
Yeah, a lot of bronze
They
and
just
gold.
have a lot
It's
of
nice, though.
bronze on Bajor? You didn't make it work for a gravity environment? Cisco, I think you probably could have swapped out the toilet without jeopardizing the mission.
But then it wouldn't be authentic.
Is this the first mention of a toilet in Trek?
It
It
might
might
be the
be.
first, but it won't be the last. I know we mentioned toilets at least once on Voyager.
Just like the Bajorans. Oh my god. With the plastic wrap
Just
and
like the
everything,
ancient
yeah.
Bajorans. Okay, so if they actually were going to Cardassia by normal means, if they didn't happen to run into the spatial anomaly that propelled them there, it's got to take them like years and years and years to get there, because they're going sublight.
But
They said it would have taken them years.
Sisso is under the impression that they did do this, though. Like, he's doing this to prove that it's possible. So there's some sort of faith that he's going on.
I mean, it's the Mount Tiki. This is pretty much ripped off of the real thing that happened.
Someone on Earth ran into a spatial anomaly that propelled them into warp speed?
No, but Tor Heyerdahl built a ship to prove that primitives could have made a certain journey. I don't remember where. What?
Okay.
But yeah, no, it was exactly the spec as it would have been made by the people, and it was not, generally agreed by everyone that that trip was possible. So he definitely was going on faith.
Oh, Jake's starting off as a writer. Starting off that storyline.
Character development. I remember the first time I watched this episode, I was expecting the prophets to show up out of nowhere and pop the ship over to Cardassia, because I was so convinced that he was going to find a way to do this.
I mean, that's kind of basically what happens.
No,
They do
it's
find the thing
totally
at the
unrelated.
Denoria spell where the prophets are.
Oh, that is where the prophets are. Are they heading over to the wormhole in the light ship?
Vaguely in that direction. I assume the Denoria belt goes all around the system like the asteroid belt does.
I was under the impression the prophets only existed within the space within the two exits of the wormhole, though.
They do, but they can send orbs out and stuff. So I assume they can have limited influence in some way. I don't know. It's not clear.
Odo is the king of how long have you been standing there?
Who's
He
in
moves
class?
so slowly, you can't even see him.
Technically, he was the wall a minute ago. There was no one there. Odo's Batman.
I am the
His hands are really shaking.
I have successfully captured a dog. Got a dog up on my lap now.
Depending on the size of the dog, that can be quite a task. Congratulations.
It's a small dog. Just a Yorkshire Terrier.
They can be hard to catch. Congratulations.
Well, this one isn't particularly hard to catch because she's over 18 years old.
Look, man,
so
just
she
take
doesn't...
the win. Dude, take the win.
I'll take the win of if I put a blanket on my lap, she'll come up and hang out. I think that's enough of a win. She just sleeps a lot.
So what just happened in this scene?
I don't know. I was looking at a dog.
It doesn't look like
He
it was
tried to
very
convince
important.
him to talk to her, but Julian waited too long and she left.
She didn't even notice he was there. She didn't recognize him.
Oof. Oh wait, she doesn't actually recognize him, right?
Yeah. He was standing in her line of sight waiting for her to walk by and be like, it's Julian Bashir, my arch enemy from her old school days. And she just walked right by. I mean, the way you say that, Cisco, well, you're both Cisco, the way you say that, Benjamin. Yeah, it sounds like you have some criticism.
Anyone who's having trouble enjoying this scene, just remember the episode The Visitor and continue watching this scene.
Is that
I'm
from
not having
season
trouble.
1 of TNG?
No, the visitor is the one with old Jake.
The one that
Old
most of you are
Jake.
probably repressing.
What do you mean? Repressing because it made them depressed, or repressing because it's bad? Because everyone loves the visitor.
Oh yeah, because it's sad.
Yeah.
It is so sad.
It has a happy ending.
Omni
Everything
in the
works
chat,
out.
absolutely.
He actually had him convinced that he joined the Maquis.
The Pennington School in New Zealand.
They've only been out for a day. Not even a day. He just said yesterday.
And keep in mind, New Zealand is also a penal colony. It's where they send, what's that guy's name from Voyager? Who's Nick Locarno? Tom Paris.
Yeah,
That's where Tom Paris goes when he, gets sentenced for whatever it is he did.
Cough, cough, guy from TNG.
Oh, they approaching Bajor now?
No, they're approaching some spatial anomaly in the Denoise belt. All right,
let's
I'm
be
going to
real,
go ahead and
traveling.
unblur the screen because I have details to reveal. So here's what I'm seeing right now. There's my microphone if you're curious, but yeah, there's the dog.
That is a cute dog.
Hello, little doggy.
Yay!
Though,
Good dog.
right there, she was looking at something. Now her head is down because, she's trying to sleep.
That looks comfy as heck.
And her tongue is slightly lolling out because she doesn't have teeth anymore.
That's got even comfier. Now, did they bring a radio or anything, or is he just like, oh, pick us up?
Yeah. They've got a subspace transmitter with them.
Okay, because they just lost
Just in
a
case
sale.
of emergencies, yes. Oh, they're not going to use it, though.
Environmental.
Yes, black socks. Black socks are very important.
How could you not like this? This is great.
It's a good episode. Now, there is a
This is
distinct
a
lack of
show that
triangular
I've-
ships. But
Every
otherwise,
time I
it's pretty
see it, it grows on me a little bit more.
good. Yes, I am on the West Coast. Luckily, the sun is now down far enough that it's not producing tons of glare on my screen, so I can actually see the show now.
What
I
part
like
of the
how
West
they-
Coast?
Or is this when they become best friends? Or
Oh yeah, they've already been playing darts with each other, but yeah, now they're really bonding.
They established that it was O'Brien's apartment, not only from the singing, but by having the bonsai tree immediately followed by the whiskey.
Part of the West Coast?
What is
World
O'Brien
building.
holding?
Space fork.
Space fork
A
for the
spanner.
whiskey.
Yeah, it's
It's
spanner.
always a spanner.
For all we know, it's a bottle opener. probably Spanner.
Or he took a big sip of that whiskey.
I like that they bothered to establish that this is not Synthale.
Yeah.
They are drunk on Star Trek.
I mean, just Siddiq El Tahil El Fadl Abdurrahman Muhammad Akhtar Abu Karim Al Makti's acting here. He's trying very hard to act drunk.
I think his genes are making him not drunk and he's trying to act drunk. I always feel like this character is always faking everything he does.
I mean, I'm just thinking of the line, "Why not right now?" That's going to be coming up in a minute. Just listen to the voice crack when that happens. It's all about the voice crack.
From which one, Sadir or Brian?
From Siddiq. Because I think Column is better at acting drunk. Siddiq is kind of hamming it up here. That's okay, though. You're allowed to ham it up on Star Trek.
They're both completely sober right now.
And here's the dog's tongue lolling out that you couldn't see before. Because, again,
That's
no
cute.
teeth.
That is cute.
Eat. Good dog.
His full name is Siddiq El Tahil El Fadl Abdurrahman Muhammad Akhtar Abdul Karim Al Makti.
For what it's worth, I've heard this man do this like 6 times, and it's the same every time, so I believe him.
You know, watching this, I'm wondering, who's more British? Bashir, the Chief, or Picard?
Picard.
Oh, God.
Picard is pretty British.
Brother.
Picard was singing a British sailing song yesterday.
And they were singing a British drinking song.
Also, the actor himself literally just spent a whole year reading Shakespeare to Facebook. So, character acting.
Picard also has the benefit that he was... So Picard and Siddiq... what's his name? Stewart and Siddiq are both English, but Stewart was actually born in England, whereas Siddiq was born in Sudan. So if we're going on that basis, then Stewart is more British.
I was going character-wise, but alright. Also, the song they were both singing was Jerusalem.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah, the Chief's Irish. The Chief isn't... Well, I mean, which part of Ireland?
Part of Britain. British Isles.
It's part of the British Isles, yes. I was thinking of the United Kingdom of England and Northern Ireland. But then in Star Trek universe, Ireland is unified now, so there's no distinction between like Great Britain, the country, and Ireland as a separate thing.
Well, what if they are unified? What if they were unified
They are in
by
Star
the
Trek.
English? Yeah, but what if they're unified by the English?
That seems unlikely, especially as the result of an IRA campaign.
Unless you go by TNG Season 1 rules where no one understands what a country is.
Yeah.
What's
Just
a
anything
country?
anything in TNG Season 1 and most of Season 2 is just not canon. It doesn't count.
Yes, Sean Ginty was banned. The episode never aired. When it was first airing.
What episode?
The one where they talk about the IRA giving a successful unification of Ireland.
Yeah.
I don't know why you guys are talking about the first 2 seasons of Next Generation. Everyone knows that those were burned in a fire. They've lost the time.
I mean, they were mostly entertaining. They're just not canon.
Yeah, a couple of good
Because they're
ones.
ridiculous.
I don't understand why everybody hated Pulaski. It's the only one that... Yeah, am I the only one that...
I like
Pulaski. Pulaski's cool.
Yeah.
People
Aside
get on
from
her case about...
raging racism towards Data.
Yes,
See, that's what I was going to say. People get on her case about her racism toward Data. But the whole point of Pulaski is that she sort of has a basic understanding of what he is at the start. She doesn't understand that he's a person. And then as she gets to know Data, she really changes her view on that. She sees Data as his own person.
I think my other problem with her is they're trying to do Bones.
You can't do Bones. We already had Bones.
It's what
In
it
relation to
feels
Data, I
like
feel
they're
like,
like, all right, this didn't work out, so let's do Bones again.
I didn't
She
mind
got
her.
a
It's just
better arc than
her
What do you mean?
abrasiveness, personality.
Freaking
I
Jake's
like
worried
the
about leaving his
character.
dad alone, even though his dad is literally a religious leader.
Plus, Plasky was just giving him a hard time.
A girlfriend, maybe even a Maquis supporter. That's who you need there, Cisco.
A freighter captain? You want me to go out with a freighter captain? Yeah,
You're
Jake
the one
isn't
letting it
one.
happen, Cisco.
Jake is not one to talk.
Well, he did go out with Hollow Girl.
What kind of woman would Jake set up his dad with?
Apparently, a freighter captain who works with the Maquis.
He would.
Thanks,
You
Jake.
I
don't
think it's
set
some
up
sort of a
Jazz Man.
tachyon, Eddie. That must be what it is.
Oh god, Jazzman's in danger.
Oh, that's a warp effect. That's a warp effect if I've ever seen one.
I thought there was no natural phenomenon in warp.
Yeah,
Well,
as a
apparently there is now.
scientist, at least one of the two people in this ship should be freaking out.
It seems we know nothing about light sails.
Listen, son, the only other thing I've seen with light sails is Treasure Planet.
Oh, right, this is a tachyon, Eddie, because tachyons are... The whole point is that tachyons are supposed to be things that travel faster than light. Because they travel faster than light and they're pushing on the sails, they're propelling the ship faster than light. And, you know, from real science, that's not how anything works at all. But
yeah.
Star Trek science, that's how it's supposed to work.
But Star Trek science, even if you warp the space around you so you can travel faster light without travel.
No, finish
shrink
that sentence, Cisco. Finish that sentence.
So just to be entirely clear, tachyons do not exist in real life. There's no such thing as a tachyon. It is literally impossible for any particle to move faster than light, as I hope everyone knows here.
Antimatter and deuterium do exist only in light
Antimatter and deuterium, yes, those are things. Tachyons are not things.
No.
It's a hypothetical thing.
Yeah.
What
It's
is
physically
hypothetical?
impossible for it to exist. It can't be a thing.
I don't think that's actually true. I think there's some way that actually be consistent.
Oh no, the sextant.
Yeah, that'll work. Don't those only work on calibrated? Only work on or something like that? Could you calibrate the star to what time it is and figure out where?
I don't know nothing
That's
about
how that-
sextants. I remember in the Enterprise episode Shuttle 1, Reed sarcastically asks for a sextant when told the plot, of course.
It wouldn't work. You would have to be like you're flat on the ocean at that point, that time. You look up and you see what stars. You can calibrate by the angle of it and find out what longitude or latitude you're at. That's how
Okay.
they work.
And that'd probably still work if you're like right next to Bajor, because the stars aren't going to move much at all.
But you're on a spinning globe. That's how you find out we are on a spinning globe.
Right, okay. Oh, Nebula class.
Yeah, a sextant wouldn't be very useful in space.
Okay,
No.
good to know.
Space.
No.
But it's a space sextant.
Okay.
Well, if it
then
were,
in
this is
space-
completely different.
No.
You can't have a real camping trip if you don't get lost.
Like how the Apollo capsules calculated Scene
Probably the
two.
uniforms.
Ooh. She doesn't remember you.
She remembers him. It's just, yep.
Oh, I was going to say
Andorian.
Bully, and I was close. They're both blue.
How do you go to medical school with someone and not know who they are?
What, you didn't get a yearbook?
How self-absorbed.
Wow, she even remembers. How does she know the specific question he got wrong? How does she know that?
They probably reviewed it.
Probably. So she went to the bar a week after graduation, and every other woman there was telling the story about this doctor who was talking about this ridiculous post-ganglionic story to every girl in the bar.
Okay.
We've seen him tell this story 6 times on the show alone.
He loves the preganglionic fiber and the postganglionic nerve. It's his one story. It's all he's got.
Apparently it works. He uses it every single time.
I'd have to try it.
Doesn't Bashir say this is where he wanted to be all along?
Yeah.
He wanted
He
frontier
also
medicine,
said
not
that
the
he was
Lexington.
scared that she would take his spot instead of, him.
I'm telling you, he lies about everything until he goes public about being genetically enhanced. Every word prior to that. Mm-mm.
And then after it's revealed, he just becomes really sarcastic and starts commenting on statistics all the time.
And somehow becomes a better character.
Yeah, because he gets friends, the mutants, the best part of the show.
They are.
And then he has a relationship with one of his patients again.
Is she wearing a wig?
Oh, hey, Morn.
He's just so polite in the way he asks her out.
Hey, was she wearing a wig?
Probably.
She might have been, yeah. It looked a little odd.
Yeah. I guess they got a better job of Jane. She was always wearing.
Oh, you're definitely going to run out of air.
That wasn't a no, Cisco. Since we may die soon.
You want me to go out with a freighter captain? What is he picturing? Is he just like picturing a pack lead? What is he thinking of?
A dirty Ferengi.
It's Quark in a dress.
Yeah.
Again?
Wait, that hasn't happened yet, so no.
No, that was a genetically modified Quark. That was
No, it has actually. We saw Quark in a dress in the holosuite with Jeffrey Combs.
Right.
Oh,
So-
yeah.
Right.
Cisco's trying to figure out if Jake is talking about a real person.
We see Quark in a dress at least twice.
Not enough, if you ask me.
Listen, but will we ever see Cisco in a dress? That's the main point. Turning point, Deep Space Nine.
Oh, look, Cardassians. You know, I can never tell the difference between a Kelton class and a Galler class. Is there actually a difference? Other than, like, how big they scale the shot?
I think Keldons are
Oh, hi, Mark.
larger.
Getting ahead of this.
No, Ducat, just shoot him. No one is ever going to know. He doesn't have a comm system. So yeah,
They seem
it
very
might
friendly,
be that. Yeah, it might be that Bajorans and Cardassians are like Vulcans and Romulans.
One of them, actually, one of them would evolve on a desert planet that encouraged reptilian traits, and one evolved on Bayshore, which was friendly for humanoids.
The Keldon class is similar to the Glor class space frame with additions to the aft end and main body.
So they're saying they glued a little bit onto it.
Yep, that's how they roll.
Oh, look,
Did
they
just discover
suddenly...
this, or did they know about this for decades?
Well, Golden Khan just said they just discovered it, and
So a few decades.
it's Golden Khan.
Huh. They just discovered that ship crashed.
Conveniently just now.
Yeah, for sure.
Freak
Thanks,
Earthquake
Mark.
exposed it.
He's just
Fine,
so delighted to catch them camping, so he's just doesn't want to shoot them. It's like, oh, see what I mean? Fireworks.
In space.
And it's making sound, too.
Yep. Maybe they're just projecting sounds through the speakers just to make them more dramatic. I don't think Cisco actually closed the channel. Okay. So the next episode, I'm going to have to do some typing with one hand here, so give me a minute, is going to be Family Business with Moogie and Brunt FCA. Family Business. Stop that. Start the 1 minute
like
timer.
A Christmas kind of theme here? Well, I guess we'll find out. If it's Christmas.
If you're talking about, like, Ferengi in general are kind of like Scrooge as a species, so maybe. Maybe it's Christmas in that respect.
I am surprised that they've alluded to it, but they've never done like a Christmas Carol episode in Star Trek.
Yeah. We've had, we've literally had A Christmas Carol as a play that Data did a little bit of.
Yeah, we've had that, but we've never had an episode. We've never had the Star Trek holiday special.
Hey,
Yeah.
Hang on. Best of
I have
both
to go,
worlds.
so are you guys going to be on later?
This is the last episode we're watching today.
Okay, so it'll be on tomorrow.
Is this the episode?
Next week, hang on, press play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. It's every Saturday and Sunday at the same time, 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. Saturday and Sunday.
All right, thank you.
Jeffrey Combs
Maybe
plays two
see you
characters
next
in
week.
like the next to last episode of the show, doesn't he? Does it happen twice?
I know he plays Brunt and Wei Yun in the same episode at one point.
Yeah.
I don't know when, though.
And this is again by Renee Aubergenois. So
We haven't seen Wei Yun at
another
all
Ferengi.
yet. Oh. This is the episode that introduces Wei Yun, surely.
Yeah, we haven't met Wei Yun.
No, he shows up. Let's see, when does he show up?
It's got to be next season. It's the one where the Jem'Hadar find the gateway, the rogue Jem'Hadar.
It's after Worf shows up, because Worf...
To the Death,
first
episode
Worf.
23.
Okay, so that's got to be next season. Because we're on episode 23 right now. of
Yeah, season
3.
4, episode 23, To the Death. A LeVar Burton episode.
Neat.
Oh, so Best of Both Worlds has Picard seeing visions of his past, present, and future, and is encouraged by a friendly spirit to...
good things?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, not Best of Both Worlds. Best of Both Worlds is when he got assimilated.
Yeah, sorry, you're right. All good things, excuse me.
Okay. I was really confused there for a minute. Thinking back to Best of Both Worlds, trying to remember.
I always mix those two up. Anyway, past, present, future. He sees a dark future where things don't go well for him, and he's encouraged in his present to make actions to change his future. And this is all done through the actions of a single friendly spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a Christmas Carol.
Also in
All right.
the tapestry, right? You see like the ghost of Lieutenant Junior Grey Picard.
Oh, hey, Morn.
The Borg Christmas special would be very different, yes.
What is that alien on the right with the vacuum coming out of the back of his head? What is that? I have never. That's an elephant.
That's the Star Trek version of a Twi'lek. They just have the one Leku, and it's really long
Uncomfortable.
and hairy.
Look at Morin just yapping.
FCA. I mean, would the Enterprise episode Regeneration count as a Christmas Borg episode? Because it had a winter theme. That was with the crashed Borg sphere in the Arctic.
The Ferengi sure look festive.
All colorful, all dressed up. They look like Christmas trees.
Indeed.
Don't press skip intro.
So what would a Borg Christmas look like then? Somebody said in the comments.
I'm dreaming of a Borg Christmas.
Surely it's weird dreaming of a Borg Christmas.
That's it.
No, it's someone who
It's
wants
gonna
to
be
get
a feudal.
assimilated.
Ah, I see.
You, the Borg, were the very shiny Borg.
If you get the Borg a Christmas present, do you just get them one thing, or do you have to get one thing for every individual drone? What are the rules?
Well, you know the rules, and so do I.
Hmm.
You just have
Name,
to.
please.
Hey, I could have keep going, but I didn't.
But are you ever going to let me down? Are you ever going to give me up?
Run around or desert you.
Yeah, Jake probably met Cassidy when he was just staring at all the women coming off the freighters, as he's wont to do. Which is kind of weird. It's kind of creepy, but...
We do see him doing that with Rom, just kind of sitting up there on the promenade staring.
Nog, rather.
Excuse me.
Rom is the... Rom's the father.
They like people watching.
Monosyllabic.
I mean, yeah, they're people watching, but they're specifically slobbering over women that are coming on the promenade.
Look, I'm going to be honest. This entire time, I haven't been fully paying attention to Star Trek.
That's okay, neither have I.
Yeah, none of it.
I'm going off memory for most of this.
I have another tab open. I'm just playing something.
Guest stars Penny Johnson as Cassidy Yates.
I think you just have to give a gift to the Borg Queen.
Okay,
I don't know
drone.
what you're talking about. I don't know what a thing you're talking.
You might recall, if you've seen the Orville, Cassidy Yates is also the doctor on that ship.
Yeah. She also
pretty
plays
good
the
there.
president's girlfriend in first season of 24.
Okay. So yeah, not Jeffrey Combs' first appearance on DS9. He has also been a total creep earlier on.
So wait, I've got a question. So the FCA is there?
Does Quark
is there
pay
any
his taxes?
consequences? I don't think they have taxes. They run
No,
by
they
a
don't have
free market.
taxes.
So why hide how much you make? When they do a find, is it a percentage of how much you make, or is it a set number?
I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe it's percentage, and that's why you have to hide it.
I know the FCA can confiscate your entire account, but I don't know why.
If I had to guess, it's kind of like how credit card companies deal with other businesses, in the way that, like, I'll bet the FCA has a big enough presence in a bunch of independent banks that Ferengi would want to use, that they would say, we will no longer transact with you if you don't obey our rules.
Oh, like just Visa, yeah.
Yeah.
Are there individual banks on Ferengnar, or is it just one big Ferengi bank?
Well, so we do know that there are large banks in the galaxy of the Federation that are
The Bank
separate
of
from
Boleus,
Ferenginar.
most notably.
Bank of Boleus for one, yeah. So like there are entities outside of Ferengi control that probably would, like if a Ferengi, for example, tried to do like a Cayman Islands kind of thing by putting their assets into a large enough bank that would be able to handle their assets, but does not deal with Ferenginar somehow, that would be interesting. But I'll bet that if they did that and the bank refused to cooperate with the FCA, and the Ferengi are a strong enough commercial entity in the Alpha Quadrant to just say, well, we're not going to do business with you, therefore it's going to destroy you, that kind of leverage would be used to gain some control over Ferengi accounts that exist in that bank, which is why the FCA can probably do something like that. That's just my guess. And
Very
obviously,
reasonable.
I'll bet that most of the writers of Star Trek weren't even thinking about that when they wrote any of this. So, like, that's just applying modern concepts of commercialism and capitalism to the Ferengi world, because it's probably close enough.
You know what? That's fine. Because it's good to ask dumb questions like this. For example, I am a huge fan of just randomly asking people, what do you think Palpatine's tax plan was?
Yeah.
When he was elected chancellor, did he have a progressive tax plan, or was it, income tax, or?
He did 777.
Oh, thank you, Kira.
Overpaid his taxes.
It's a good thing Earth has so many rivers. Palpatine's Palpatine, I mean, all I can say for that is it was probably high taxes. That's probably all he thought about. He's got to fund the new army. He has to change all the uniforms of the, millions of clones. He has to rebrand all the ships.
Comes from one place: the armor, the weapons, the clones, all from Camino, and that was paid for already.
Yeah, but you already paid for the armor, but you need to pay for all new armor.
Well, it takes 10 years to make more clones, and everything was apparently originally paid for by the Jedi.
Well, in Star Trek, you speed all that up.
That's what I want to hear more about on Star Trek and Star Wars. Tax plans, economic values, ideas of healthcare.
Somehow I get the feeling that Emperor Palpatine did not provide state-sponsored healthcare. I don't think that was in his plan.
Have been used as the basis of a Star Trek episode at least once each.
Well, at least we know we'll always have the Union episode where Rom may or may not be a communist.
I mean, he literally quotes from the Communist Manifesto in that.
He literally marks it, workers of the world, the only thing you have to lose are your chains.
I mean,
I think even the Ferengi have healthcare.
But it's privatized healthcare, probably.
Then again, you judge.
Yeah.
Quark goes to see the most expensive doctor on Ferenginar.
Yeah, but who would trust a Ferengi doctor?
Oh, it's raining, because it's always raining on Ferenginar.
That must give them such headaches. The drop in pressure.
They probably have gigantic sinus cavities. I'm sure they've evolved beyond headaches. They probably just get super migraines.
So what's with the low doorways?
Ferengi are short. I think the idea is to force people to bow as they come in.
See that? Also, those towels are just there for everyone to wipe off their domes.
You know what?
I need to start saying that when I get guests. My house is my house, as are its contents.
Now that I think about it, maybe the doorway is that short is because you have to buy the doorway, and the manufacturers are just a cheapskate. So smaller door means least amount of resources.
Saved $140 on construction costs
and resources.
If we make all the doorways that height, we don't even need to make the building that tall. We're all short, right? No one marry anyone tall.
With
We'll
the,
save
Except that the
thousands.
doors are round, and round in construction is a lot harder.
Well, maybe
Hang
they
on.
pay for like a deluxe. Like they want to be fancy, but they're still being cheap.
hang on. That is a latinum tooth sharpener. Isn't latinum always a liquid?
Yes.
Indentured
what is that?
servitude.
It's platinum plated.
How dare
Yeah.
you call it a Ferengi?
Mookie's wearing clothing.
It's
What is
averting
she
his eye.
doing?
She has gone off the
Gross.
rails.
She's
Oh,
gone
this is
senile.
Ferengi
Put her
Christmas
down.
Time. Giving out the nose rubs.
There's the line. So, where did she get the clothes?
Amazon. Space Amazon.
But I would assume that
Ferengi
Ferengi Amazon does not make women's
Maybe she-
clothing.
Well, maybe she made it herself, or for those trade things.
Is she a very good tailor?
Turns out Garrick's in league with Moogie just to embarrass Quark.
I forget who points it out, but at some point, someone mentions that the Ferengi market is leaving a lot of money on the table by not making women's clothing because,
Yeah.
women's fashion is clearly an opportunity.
Well, there's a lot of
they
things they're missing out on because women aren't allowed to participate in any form of trade. They're literally not using 50% of the population.
You're just
probably
wasting half of your
resell-
workforce.
Probably resell off-world female clothing and just don't produce it on their own because principles.
You sort of have to represent your identity based on what you wear. It's a big deal. You don't want to wear heavy clothing.
The super low doorways, and then the center of the room is just a dome arch thing.
Here's dog number 2 that is now currently right next to me staring at me because he's
That is
very
much
upset that I
bigger.
won't throw his ball. I can't throw your ball right now. We're not throwing it.
I love him.
Hmm.
He's less of a lap dog. Just the small dogs on the left.
They're breaking into his bar while he's gone.
Yeah, to get their dartboard back.
Odo is just standing there watching them.
Well, to make sure
Now-
they don't loot.
The captain is standing there watching them break in.
I mean, but it's Quark's bar, and I mean,
Yeah, but
Odo's
it's
not going to
Quark.
have objective. He's not going to object to that. Yeah, that dog's just going to keep staring at me for the next hour or 30
don't they
minutes
just-
till the show's over.
Why don't they just beam the dartboard out?
That would be convenient.
It'd be a lot easier.
Odo is conveniently back to work in spite of the last episode.
Why is everyone on this station is such a gossip?
They have a betting pool.
At least for once, it's not Kira and Jadzia gossiping. Literally everyone.
Yeah.
And just go back to work.
Oh, it's great.
Well, yeah, they need to get their dartboard somehow.
He goes back to work.
Why isn't Mookie serving dinner? What do you mean she's not feeling well?
Platinum toothbrush. Maybe it got it. Maybe she digested some of it.
Yes, Ferengnar, would they still believe in female hysteria?
I love that sound
Married a
effect.
rebel.
Oh,
That was quite rhythmic, Quark. Thank you.
Ferengi is
Father.
a very tonal language. I mean,
They're
look at
very
the ears.
Does Quark chew his own food on the station? Does he hire someone to do that?
No, he chews his own food, but he's not happy about it.
Oh.
He won't hire someone to do it, but he will go out of his way to convince someone to do it for him for free.
Or he can extort one of his employees into doing it, or he's going to fire them.
It's like what the rules of acquisition say.
Go
Exploitation
on.
starts at the home.
Yes.
Something like that. Or was it?
Exploitation begins at home. Dank and musty.
Oh.
I don't think I've ever described my food as dank and musty. Thankfully. She earned profit. We established this. Is that how you get beetle snuff? Yeah, Rob's not batting an eyelash at this. He's perfectly happy with her earning profit. I mean, the law's pretty dumb. You're leaving off half your work for it. Why would you do that? You could be making so much more money. Yelling at each other. What are they looking at?
Ferengi really like.
They almost just look straight at the camera in that shot.
I think they do that shot almost every Ferengi episode.
They're trying to figure out why she's not getting married.
I mean, who would want to marry a female that earns profit and wears clothing?
Yeah, I don't know if she can remarry. Like, Quark's the head of the house now, right?
She's got to... Yeah, he can probably enter her into a standard marriage contract with someone else, but it'd be pretty difficult to find her a new husband who would be willing to buy her. Any potential person to enter into a marriage contract with Mookie would be opening themselves up to sanctions with the FCA.
Oh, who cares about them? FCA.
The FCA or the females?
Yeah, they... I mean, if the Ferengi... I mean, if we don't even take our government seriously, how can the Ferengi even take theirs?
If you don't take the government seriously here, Jeffrey Combs comes over to your house and yells at you.
Okay, actually, what is up with these doors?
Don't worry about
Arches, doors. It's just arches.
it. Yep, dog's still staring at me. I'm not throwing your ball right now. Give me like half an hour, dog.
Let's all take a moment to applaud Star Trek for doing this in 1995.
Why do we need to see this?
Because
it's tradition.
Cultures.
Maybe the writers were asked to add more sex appeal, and this is what happened.
Now, is this what Gene Roddenberry had in mind when he keeps making the planets of naked people?
Yes, exactly.
Is this Gene Roddenberry's vision?
say so. Absolutely. Who came up with the Ferengi in the first place, and they established that their females do not wear clothes in the first episode, I think.
He did. That's true.
Alive for that. This is all his idea. Rom is wearing eyeshadow and mascara, and Mookie is not.
Oh, I don't like anything about this.
You don't like that thigh? You don't like that beautiful Moogie thigh right there in the front of the camera?
Not especially.
She's not touching his ears, just the top of his head.
Also, Moogie is clearly wearing like some sort of like plastic fabric that's painted over her shoulders to make her wrinkly old skin.
It's like dried Play-Doh.
That does not look like it's actually the actress's skin. I'm pretty sure that's... Yeah.
Oh.
Pride and Prejudice.
Oh, we're not worried about
There's
that.
a lot of prejudice going on. Oh, look at that one at the bottom of Rom's jaw. That's like jutting out like past his lip.
Trying to escape, yeah.
That's got to be so uncomfortable.
Not according to the subtitles. Oh, look, it's a giant orb cube thing.
Fantastic. Oh, there's Cassidy.
Their teeth must be constantly growing. Oh my gosh.
Don't worry. Cassidy's going to be changing her hairstyle after this episode.
I'm kind
It's
of
not
okay
going to be
with
quite so poofy. It's a little too poofy for me.
It's definitely on the higher end. It's on the lower end of poofy hair for what we've seen, though.
We've seen some extreme hair.
We have seen some massive hair.
She just needs to trim it back a little bit.
A little less voluminous. Gotta spell it weird because future.
I mean, Jake's right. They're a good fit. Until, you know, Cisco abandons them for an unspecified amount of time at the end of the series.
Inertium ore.
Inertium. Is that how the inertial dampers work?
Does that have something to do with I think we've solved the puzzle.
I think that might... Wait. Look at the side of that crate next to Cisco. It said like Cassidy Yates... What is that?
It does definitely have her name.
Cassidy Yates Shipping Emporium? Something like that?
No. That's just her name, yeah. Maybe it's like vibranium.
Oh no.
Ugh.
You're not even supposed to put like basic cotton Q-tips in yours, and that guy's putting a power tool in his. Gotta be careful with that ROM.
They seem to have very resilient ears.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Moogie is significantly wealthier than Quark at this point.
She's a criminal mastermind.
She's way better at business. Oh yeah, here it's established.
For business.
Wow.
Couldn't come close.
Well, Quark usually is on like the terrible end of the profit spectrum. He's not a very good Ferengi in practice, just in preaching.
He's like Worf. He preaches all the stuff about Ferengi culture, and doesn't actually do anything like a Ferengi.
Unless he sees another one of his kind not acting like one of his kind. Then he goes all out.
He's like the Mandalorian. He's pretty chill most of the time, but when he sees another Mandalorian acting different, he freaks out.
That helmet on, man. It's over. Different character.
I think we're overthinking this.
I think, well, we're supposed to be overthinking it. Looks like Quark has a plan.
Been overthinking it. Logical.
Would the FCA be okay with that?
Yeah.
I don't think they'd have too much of a problem with that.
Yeah, no, I don't think they'd mind at all. As long as he strips her first.
Stahl? Does he also have his own moon?
Probably.
Oh, look at her. She's just stalling.
And she's still wearing clothing. Oh.
Doorbell.
Wait, is that...
Yeah,
Really
that's me.
Candygram.
Okay, I was confused. I was saying, was that Brunt at the door, or was that someone's real doorbell? I was confused there for a second.
Don't answer the door. It's the shark. Bad shark.
I mean, I guess it could still be Brunt FCA.
Ow. Do you think that laugh was dubbed in?
I don't know. This is the part where we throw our heads back and laugh. Thank you, Mookie.
Just that part.
Yes. Yeah, Quark, you're pretty jealous of her profits.
This is more talking than the previous episode, if we want to be real.
Yeah, if Keldar was specifically doing the opposite of what Mookie said just because Mookie said it, that would definitely be why he completely failed in business. Mookie always gives good advice.
And you married him.
What are you going to do?
Are
you sure you want to tell them?
This is very serious.
I mean, Quark, if you tell them about the financial empire, you're going to be held responsible for it. Are you sure you want to do this? Oh, the dog has now progressed to the stage of not just staring at me with the ball, but dropping it on me. We're not throwing it right now.
We're watching a whole extra episode today. You should be done by now.
I threw his ball. We had 2 throw sessions already today. One just before we started.
Oh wow, look at him squish his makeup in.
Oh yeah. Quark has
was
a really
so
squishy
soft.
head. Do Ferengi even have skulls?
I would hope so, because he's going to need it after that. I don't remember this being this intense. This is a lot.
Now this is more action than we got in the last episode.
This is a lot even for Star Trek.
It's okay, they're just kind of grabbing each other's collars. They're not actually hurting each other.
Ah. I like that there's space to stand up, but no one does because they just have to go through another really low door immediately after.
Yeah. Still raining.
I don't think it ever canonically stops raining.
Quark does say it's always raining there. It's canon. What about the elevator? How much does it cost? Oh, 7 strips.
Oh,
Wow.
if only they knew.
I mean, they've got quite a bit of time until dilithium goes up in value.
Dilithium is like Bitcoin. They don't even know.
For how much?
It looked like a strip.
Well, that worked out. Yeah, I don't think I would trust any Ferengi here to just leave documents with them. Oh,
He did not take Vader either.
Rom doesn't get the deal. He doesn't get the discount.
Oh, that was I had to spend 5.
Well, Rom doesn't have the lobes for business. He's not going to haggle.
Of all things.
50-50.
Just like that.
But why Quark?
That
I
was
think so he doesn't say what he just heard.
Because
Insult.
money.
I like how he taps the till before he puts it in his own pocket.
Gotta make sure it's real. Unfortunately, Rom might not have been telling the whole truth there.
I just like the idea of slips is they're constantly flowing back and forth like nonstop. Answer a question for me. Here's a slip. Now I'll answer a question for you. Give me a slip.
It is true on Ferenginar that some people are too poor to pay attention.
Jesus.
It's probably actually like a common insult on Ferenginar.
Wait, what do you have against Cardassians? Wait,
foreign-
Rom, what do you mean by that? So this guy's name is Max Grodenchik, right?
Yep.
Is that how you pronounce it?
Figured it's like Gredenchik, but I don't think I've ever heard
Gredenchik?
it pronounced.
Rom's gonna make a good parent.
He already is a
Well-
good parent. He has a kid.
All right, I forgot.
He's a main character.
Rom's child is more proud of Rom than Moogie's child is proud of Moogie.
I mean, how could he be proud of Moogie? She wears clothing.
And makes profit.
Disgusting.
Made more profit than him. Made more profit than father.
Moogie probably owns her own moon by this point. Just insulting Keldar again.
Back-to-back family slice of life episodes. It was nothing but Cisco and Jake, and now it's just these 3. This is nice. When TNG does that, a whole family has to die, and we get an orphan again. And then the ship almost explodes.
Yeah, how many episodes do we get about people just talking to their families. There's obviously the episode Family in TNG. I can't think of any others. I mean, there's the episode The Inner Light where he gets a fake family for a while. If that counts.
Let's see. Worf was an orphan. Tasha was an orphan. Ensign Rowe only existed for 6 episodes. Tom hates
And was a
his
refugee.
father. Picard's family's dead.
Ensign Rowe was got to witness her father being tortured to death too.
Yep.
Okay.
She got
better
to witness her
question.
father being tortured to death, and she was disappointed in him for breaking.
How many members of the Enterprise staff have families still? Original families. Because
Original family, so not Worf's.
Um,
I don't think we ever hear about
think-
Geordi's family.
no, we do.
We do?
He loses his mother in season
Oh,
7.
right.
The whole episode.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
He
yeah, that
has-
was a weird
he has-
episode.
He has siblings and both parents for most of TNG. We just never hear about them.
Travis
see his
Mayweather
father.
has a mother on Enterprise.
Yeah.
The whole family on the Generation ship, or like the Warp 1 freighter. Okay, so Travis.
Well, his dad's dead by the time we see that
Yeah.
family.
His dad's dead at the start of the series, but we never... Or his dad is alive at the start of the series, but we never meet him before he dies.
We do still get to see him with his mother and his brother on the ship, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that counts
Spock
for
has his parents.
Right?
Spock
Well,
has a very large family,
Yeah.
it turns out.
Up until the episode Brothers, Data has a full family, essentially. Both his father and mother are technically alive.
well, I don't know about his mother so much.
Technically, I said.
It's a technicality.
It's complicated.
I decided to look up the Ferengi on the Memory Alpha to see if there's anything about them post DS9. But there's nothing. They don't even talk about freaking Rom being made grand niggas.
Wesley has his mother, of course.
Yes, of course.
For a while,
Yeah, just
Dr.
about-
Crusher has her grandmother. For a while.
Just about everybody in the main cast of TNG, anyway, is has some kind of family issue, whether it's a dead parent or a parent they don't get along with or whatever. Worf's parents, I mean, his biological parents are obviously dead, but his
Yep.
adoptive parents are both alive, and he has a brother.
And then he forgets about his brother. And then his brother gets his memory wiped.
Well, so 2 brothers. I forgot about Kern. I was thinking of Nikolai.
Oh, yeah, Nikolai. I was thinking of Kern and forgot about Nikolai.
We get to see Ezri's entire extended family.
Oh, yeah, the Tegan
Yeah.
family.
Except for her dad. I don't know where her dad is.
I think he's
and
probably
also
dead.
Her brother is a murderer.
Yep. Archer's parents are dead.
We get to see Bashir's parents, which is cool.
That's
Oh,
right.
Malcolm
His
Reed.
parents are
Malcolm Reed has both his parents alive.
Well, not perfectly fine. They got problems.
Well, I
They're not
a
close, but they're
dysfunctional
alive.
family, but they're alive.
Just where can be said of where we started with this, yeah.
Yep.
Jake
Yeah,
is
that
very
was-
proud of himself.
Commander Tucker's parents, I think, are dead, and then his sister dies in the end of season 2.
Convenient pile of dead triples in front of her.
Those are some spiky dribbles.
We know Tom Paris's dad is an admiral. We don't
Yep.
know anything about his mom. I don't think it's ever mentioned one way or the other whether she's alive or dead.
Not only is Tom Paris's dad an admiral, Tom Paris's dad is a good admiral. He's not
Yeah.
evil. So what percentage of the profits did they reveal here? Like 1%? 5%?
I think the original percentage, which was 3
a
strips
third.
or 3 bars.
3 bars.
Probably.
So,
Yeah.
a faint signal asks, do we see Seven of Nine's parents? We do, as a matter of fact, both in flashbacks and in the show. The Queen actually summons the drones to intimidate Seven.
Yeah, that was messed up. That's just mean.
Oh, I wish he'd hit his head.
She's probably just gave up more money than you've ever seen in your life, Quark.
Oh, they
Honestly.
couldn't mind. Wow.
Oh, so Quark thinks they gave up all of the money. Quark doesn't know about the rest of the Empire. So Quark only knows about the beetle business. What else does Mookie do? Does she sell weapons with Gala? Because that's very profitable.
Quark was the one going through the computer looking at, like, if he'd have sold everything, he couldn't have come close. He must know about the majority of it. The FCA.
But there's probably more he doesn't know about.
We're about to establish right now that he only found a little bit.
Oh.
Oh!
Yeah.
Answer.
Yeah, so Mookie's got an entire financial empire left. So what does she do with the rest of it?
By the end of the series, she kind of rules the planet, technically, doesn't she?
It's the negative, and the negative.
Yeah, basically.
Power, and the entire society kind of collapses for a tiny bit. Then it's fine.
Mookie is the power behind the throne for a little bit. She's not technically the leader, but she makes all the decisions.
Yeah, I bet Zek made a lot of important decisions on his own.
Incredibly clean carpet for a planet that's always raining.
Well, they probably got it's probably like their most advanced technology, self-cleaning carpet.
So the next DS9 episode, which we're not watching today, we're going to be watching that in a week, is Shakar. Everybody loves Shakar.
Except Odo.
His most notable role, of course, is the Scottish space ghost in TNG.
Everybody loves Shakar, the preeminent sitcom of Bajor.
Yeah, just more Kira relationship drama with Odo being sad in the background.
Then we got
we got to eat our vegetables.
Oh, next week TNG is a good one. Next week TNG is Captain's Holiday with the Horgon. It's very important. Tin Man, which is kind of weird. I don't really like Tin Man, but hey, it's there. And then Hollow Pursuits with Lieutenant Reginald Broccoli. In the Hollow Suite.
Is Tin Man the one with the floating space thing? The child thing?
No.
You're going to have to be more specific.
The Tin Man is the one with the sentient starship.
Yeah. The sentient organic starship that the telepath communicates with like 100 light years away.
There is another thing with an alien child that's the size of a starship that happens later. So you
Sticks to the ship.
Yeah, that's a different episode. That is not Tin Man.
Episodes in TNG and in Voyager of giant space aliens that they have to cut out.
We like giant space aliens.
That is the way.
The Doctor is able to deal with a giant space alien, but unfortunately he's a doctor, not a dragon slayer. So it doesn't finish it off.
There's also the giant space alien in Voyager that is essentially it shows you everything that you want happening and puts you to sleep and then eats you.
Yes, that's the one that the Doctor does not kill because he's not a dragon slayer.
There's also one where they accidentally fly into it or something. It's like the size
Same
of a
one.
nebula.
Yeah,
that's
the same one again. We're just all talking about the same alien over and over again. That's true. TNG did start off with a giant space alien, the space jellyfish.
Giant space couple.
what are the other DS9 episodes next week? There's Shakar, and then there's
Facets.
Facets.
And then the adversary.
Right, Facets where Jadzia talks to her past hosts, and the adversary where we get the changeling on the Defiant. That one's pretty cool. That's a good one.
I think the adversarial.
Which then sets up the season 4 finale.
So that's about the Zenkathi. We do see the Zenkathi in the animated series, right? They're cat people.
No.
They're the purple pink suit cat people.
I thought the cat people were the
Vacations, but there's 2 cat people, I think.
I thought the cat
I think
people were
there's-
the ones that Riker mentions in Picard, which are different. The Kazinti.
Hang on,
We don't see the Zenkathi until
Oh, that's right, the Kazinti.
Star
the-
Trek Online.
That's right, the Zenkathi or someone else. Okay.
Yeah, the pictures
Well-
of these things are definitely Star Trek Online. There's no way they would ever do
I'll
this.
push it up. I'll push it up in the chat.
Yeah, I'll unblur the screen so we can all see the Zenkathi
Giant
as Star
sentient
Trek Online depicts them.
There it is.
Maybe is that Geordi in this picture? I can't tell. It's really far away from me, but he has white eyes. I think that might be Geordi.
I know he does play a role in the story. I'm not sure if it's the Zenkethi story, but like he's a character in STO.
Well, let's see what this name of this image is. See if we can see if it's labeled. No, it's not. I don't know.
The hair looked kind of on point.
That's gotta be Geordi. That looks
looks a
exactly
lot-
like Geordi.
Oh, yeah, that's Jordy.
Okay.
That's STO Jordy.
So, I think that's enough for today. I've got a ball to throw, and the dog is currently staring at me again. He looks very disappointed in me.
Stop.
What are you looking at? What? What do you want? Alright, so I'm gonna go do that. Everyone else, just go away.
See you guys.
Right away.
Or
Saturday.
Next week.